And a very pleasant good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to another edition of Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and live video on mybasin.com. Today, the Skyline Conference hangs in the balance as the Henley Hornets take on the Hidden Valley Mustangs. My name is Josh Eldridge. Glad to be with you from Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School for this Skyline Conference matchup. The Hornets in control of the Skyline Conference right now, 14-0 in conference play. They are 23-1 overall. The Hidden Valley Mustangs 12-2 in conference play. Those two losses came at the hands of these Hornets back in Murphy earlier in the season. The Mustangs are 18-6 overall. The Hornets just need one win in a doubleheader this afternoon to clinch the Skyline Conference outright for the second consecutive season. We'll talk a little bit about the Skyline Conference standings, tell you what each of these two teams are looking forward to in the coming weeks, as both teams have already clinched their spot in the 16-team OSAA playoff bracket. Details on all of that, plus starting lineups and first pitch. It's all on the way on 104.3 and 960 Sports. MyBasin.com. Henley Basin is next.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, for retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Back with you for Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports. We're also online on mybasin.com. Free live video all afternoon. A doubleheader between the Hidden Valley Mustangs and the Henley Hornets to decide an outright Skyline Conference champion. Let's take a look at the Skyline Conference standings right now. And, of course, Henley leads the pack right now. 14-0, Hidden Valley right behind them, 12-2 in league play. There's quite a drop-off in terms of, how much distance there is between Hidden Valley and Klamath Union right now, the third best team in the league. They are 5-11 in league play. Then you've got Phoenix, who's 3-11, and Mazama, who is 12-2. Now, at best, Hidden Valley can finish with a share of the Skyline Conference title today, although Henley has shored up the number one seed coming out of the conference by virtue of record against descending opponents, and then their overall record being 23-1. Now, Hidden Valley, again, a share of the Skyline Conference title. That is still something to battle for today. Henley is looking to clinch it outright for the second straight year. Now, at the very least, obviously, Hidden Valley can finish second in the Skyline Conference, and by doing so, they would get an immediate berth into the 16-team OSAA playoff bracket. There's 2 teams that automatically get selected from each of the 6 leagues, and then a few more teams, 4 teams, have to play in to the 16-team bracket. So for the Skyline Conference specifically, top 2 get in, and the team that finishes third would have to play in. Now, in this case, it's Klamath Union, although with them only being 2 games ahead of the Phoenix Pirates and their season is over, Phoenix and Mazama are playing today, and Mazama actually gets to sort of help decide who gets that last playoff spot. Now, themselves, the Vikings, they're eliminated, but if they're able to beat Phoenix once today, Klamath Union would get that spot in the play-in round for the second straight year. If Phoenix sweeps Mazama today, they would finish 5-11 and would have the tiebreaker, having a better overall record than Klamath Union does, so they would sneak ahead into that third spot and take the play-in round. So still lots to be decided in the final doubleheader of the Skyline Conference regular season. It's an exciting time of year, and it's a beautiful day for baseball. As we get closer to first pitch, hardly any wind today, about 69 degrees right now, and as we go throughout the doubleheader today, we're going to get into the mid-70s. It is a fantastic afternoon. So glad that you could be with us. If you're watching from the comfort of your own home, invite you to maybe come on out, enjoy the sunshine, and watch the Mustangs take on the Hornets in an all-time classic rivalry in the Skyline Conference. As we get throughout the broadcast today, we'll talk a little bit about the rivalry that the Hornets and the Mustangs have sustained over the past decade or more. But on the other side of this next break, we've got starting lineups and a first pitch as our managers today, Joe Cicchini for the Henley Hornets and Justin Spinner for the Hidden Valley Mustangs, get ready to meet at home plate in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned for Henley Baseball next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
It's kind of what and me as a person. I love to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Josh Eldridge with you ahead of this matchup between the Mustangs and the Hornets. Our coaches still meeting at home plate, exchanging the lineup cards. Let's go ahead and introduce you to the starting lineups, and we'll start with the visiting Hidden Valley Mustangs. Leading off at shortstop today is Wiley Mendez. Elijah Zauer bats second and is at second base today. Jack Matthew is in left, batting third, followed by the cleanup hitter playing first base, Mauricio Mendez. Brock Lewis is at third base, batting fifth for Hidden Valley, with Ty Burden, the catcher, batting sixth. Hitting seventh, Connor Graham in right field, followed by the designated hitter, Gage Ayers. As batting eighth, Mason Klipfel is batting ninth in center field. They're going up against a starter, Bo Pyle, on the mound for the Hornets, and the Mustangs themselves are throwing Ethan Carlisle to start the ball game. Let's go ahead and introduce you to the starting lineups for the Henley Hornets. Leading off in center field, it is Peyton Price, and then Connor Shively bats second and is catching. Aiden Hayes, the shortstop, bats third, followed by the cleanup hitter, third baseman Mark Carpenter. Bo Pyle, the pitcher, bats fifth, followed by Max Price at second base. Thomas Bakke, the designated hitter, bats seventh. Lane Frank in right field, hitting eighth. And Luke Austin is in left field, rounding out the Henley order. And Henley today in their home kind of cream-colored uniforms. I like these looks for the Hornets. Henley written across the chest in cursive in navy blue. They've got their typical navy blue caps with the yellow H on. For Hidden Valley today, they're wearing their orange tops with their gray pants. And a good look for Hidden Valley, bright. They stand out. They've got their gray caps with the blue bill and blue numbers on the backs of those orange jerseys. Should be a fun day of baseball this afternoon. Again, one other game going on in the Skyline Conference today. It's a doubleheader between the Phoenix Pirates and the Mazama Vikings. A lot riding on those games, as if Mazama beats Phoenix once, Klamath Union makes the playoffs. But if the Pirates defeat the Vikings twice, it's the Pirates who end up in the postseason. So we'll try to keep you updated on those scores as we move out the afternoon. But right now, we've got baseball in front of us as the Henley Hornets have taken the field. And let's go ahead and meet our starter for Henley today. That would be one Bo Pyle. And looking at Bo this season, he is a junior pitcher for the Hornets. He has eaten up a bulk of the Henley innings this year. 43 2/3 innings pitched. This is his 11th start of the season. He is 7-0 in his decisions across all that work, an ERA of 2.56. Pyle has been very strong this season, and in fact, his most recent start, of course, really no different for Bo, as he just comes out and shoves just about every game. He pitched against Cascade Christian on the 8th. That was back on Wednesday. A short outing for him, but it was a start. 2 innings, and he gave up 2 hits, a couple of runs. He got a little bit out of control with the walks, 4, which matches his season high for a game. But he struck out 2 and looked pretty good. His last full outing was a 5-inning affair against Klamath Union when he only allowed 2 hits, pitched a shutout, struck out 8 Pelicans, and has just settled into a groove. Excited to see Pyle once again on the bump for Henley. Leading off for the Mustangs will be Wiley Mendez. And if we look at the Hidden Valley offense this season, this is a team that can certainly swing it. They've beaten a lot of good teams this year, 18-6 overall in the season, a team batting average of .342. And boy, they get on base pretty well also. .460 for their on-base percentage. And now we've got Wiley Mendez stepping in. 5th best hitter on the team, batting .386 coming into the contest. Batting from the right side, and we are ready for baseball. The right-hander Bo Pyle ready to deliver the first pitch. It's offered up and missed out of the zone. Strike 1. First pitch today, 11:58. That's a couple minutes early from where we were hoping to be at 12 o'clock, but no complaints from the booth. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Off speed, misses low. The count now a ball and a strike to Mendez. Pyle. Here's the 1-1. That one in the dirt as well. 2-1. Again, Bo had a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone back on Wednesday. He walked four batters in just 2 innings of work. So it's going to be something that Henley's going to have to keep tabs on as Pyle fires in strike 2. It was earlier in the season when these two teams played that things almost got away from Henley. Hidden Valley really competed, but the Hornets were able to come back and close out both of the games that these two teams played against each other earlier in the season. 13-2. Henley really didn't have too much of a problem in that game, but their 7-4 win, they waited until the end to come into that game and win. And strike three looking. Mendez thought he worked a walk, but he's down on strikes looking for the first out of the ball game. He tossed his bat back to the dugout, started trotting down the line, and the home plate umpire rung him up for the first out of the ball game. This will bring up Elijah Zauer, the second baseman batting second in the order, makes contact with one behind first base. Might be playable, but Harper just running out of room back there. Looking at Zauer on the season, batting .371 on the year. Most of his hits have been just singles on the season, but at the top of the order, that's all you're trying to do, just get on base. Zauer behind in the count, 0-1. That pitch is also in the zone, 0-2. Maybe a bit low for Zauer's liking, around the knees, although the strike zone will probably be a little bit lower this afternoon. Here's the 0-2 from Pyle. That one is flared out towards right field. Frank coming in. That one's going to drop down in front of him, and a one-out single for Elijah Zauer gives the Mustangs a base runner in the top of the first inning. Zauer collecting his 27th base hit of the season to get on base. And this will bring up Jack Matthew, batting .397 this year. Matthew, the right-hander, looks down Pyle. Pyle checks the runner, now delivers to the plate. The off-speed pitch does not break enough, and it misses high. 1-0 to Matthew. Jack Matthew, a junior. Handed thrower, I believe, as well, batting from the right side. I can't recall if he's a switch hitter exactly as he takes strike one, but I know he throws left-handed, does Matthew. Getting the start in left field today for the Mustangs. 1-1 count, one away and a runner on first. Zauer takes off from first, and it's a base hit into center field from Matthew. Zauer is rounding second, headed for third. The throw down, and they got him. Trying to get to third base. A beautiful throw from Peyton Price in center to gun down the lead runner. And that will make Zauer out at third. Matthew is aboard at first with a single, 2 away in the inning, and this brings up Mauricio Mendez. Fantastic throw by Peyton Price in center. Carpenter applied the tag, and Mauricio Mendez steps up now for the Mustangs. Here's the pitch from Pyle. That one's going to miss wide, 1-0. Take a look at the defense for Henley after that play. Shively behind the dish, Mark Carpenter at third. Aiden Hayes plays short. Max Price is at second. And Owen Harper plays first. We'll get you the outfield after the 1-0 pitch to Mauricio Mendez. That one is ripped on a line into left field. A 2-out base knock is going to move Matthew up to second. Mauricio Mendez to first. 2 runners on now for Brock Lewis. And as promised, the outfield for Henley. In left field, it's Luke Austin. In center field, it's Peyton Price. And in right field, it's Lane Frank. 2 runners on this inning. And Brock Lewis to bat now for Hidden Valley. A .359 hitter this season, 15 RBI. And he takes ball 1. Lewis, a senior on a Hidden Valley team filled with upperclassmen. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Lewis. That one is down, 2-0. 3 singles in a row for Hidden Valley, but they've only got 2 runners on. One of them was thrown out from center field. That was Zauer. But see if the Mustangs can keep it rolling. This one is a bouncer past the glove of Frank and into left field. They're waving Matthew around to score. And he will get in standing. And an RBI single for Brock Lewis puts Hidden Valley on the board. They lead now 1-0. 4 singles. The Mustangs have been seeing the ball well. Matthew scores from second. Mendez stays put at second. And Lewis aboard at first after the RBI single. Now Ty Burden bats with 2 outs. looking to keep the rally going for the Mustangs. Burden this season, second best hitter on the ball club, batting .414. This is a ground ball to third. Carpenter is going to take it to the bag himself to end the inning. 4 base hits for the Mustangs lead to 1 run. They leave 2 runners on. They lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first inning. 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Hidden Valley Mustangs up 1-0 early over the Henley Hornets, but the Hornets a chance to respond. Peyton Price, Connor Shively, Aiden Hayes, top of the order in the bottom of the first inning. On the mound for Hidden Valley is the right-hander Ethan Carlisle. Taking a look at Carlisle this season, a 6-1 record, 42 1/3 innings pitched. This is his 9th start of the season, an ERA of 2.31 for Carlisle. The Hornets don't often find themselves down after the first inning, although they did on Wednesday against Cascade Christian, and they run-ruled Hidden Valley earlier this season, but it was the most previous matchup in Murphy. That was back on April 18th, almost a month ago now. A 7-4 win for Henley did not come easily. In fact, Henley was trailing that game heading into the 6th inning when they finally got on the board, scored 6 runs, added 1 more in the 7th to steal victory, hoping for a quicker start today for Henley. Here comes Peyton Price, stepping into the box. First pitch to him is taken for a ball. Looks like it missed low to the right-handed hitter, Peyton Price. This season for Peyton, batting .387 on the year. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one will miss. Looked like it missed outside. 2-0 to Peyton Price. Carlisle, 2-0. That one's a chopper down the third base line. Charging is Lewis. Throw across the diamond is in time. A nice play there by Lewis to record the out. 1 away in the bottom of the first. Go around the diamond for Hidden Valley. Behind the dish, Ty Burden. Brock Lewis at third. Wiley Mendez at short. Elijah Zauer plays second with Mauricio Mendez at first. Jack Matthew in left. Mason Klipfel in center. And Graham is in right field for the Mustangs. First pitch now to Connor Shively is taken outside for a ball. 1-0 to the Henley catcher. Shively this season batting .519. That leads the Skyline Conference in batting average, and he also leads the conference in hits at 41. Here's the 1-0. Shively hits one the other way in the air, out of play behind third base. The count now a ball and a strike to the Henley catcher. Here's the 1-1. Shively timed that one well, but just underneath it. He's going to foul it off. The count, a ball and 2 strikes, 1 away in the bottom of the first. And Henley trails Hidden Valley 1-0. This one is hit again, foul behind third base, and Shively, the left-handed bat, often does go opposite field. Not really a pull hitter. In fact, in practice, I've heard that when Henley hits batting practice, most of the guys will line up on the left side of the field. Shively again fouls it off, 1 and 2. Hit the brick backstop here at Rosser Field. It's always interesting on a pass ball. See how hard that baseball hits the brick? It can dictate whether or not a runner can score from third. Ball and 2 strikes, the count to Shively. Here's the delivery. And that one will come inside. I believe it bounced off the top of his shoe, and Shively awarded first with 1 out, and this will bring up Aiden Hayes. So Shively gets on base again. Does it the best on the team, 6:27. And so here's Aiden Hayes. First pitch to Aiden is taken high. 1-0. Taking a look at Hayes this year. Batting .427. That is 4th best on the team. Hayes 3rd in the league in doubles. And he also leads the conference in runs scored at 37 this year. The 1-0 to Hayes, swung underneath it, a pitch out of the zone. Looked good coming out of the right-hander's hands, but it's just a tough pitch to lay off of for Hayes. Evens the count at 1 apiece. 1 out and a runner on first. Henley trails the Mustangs 1-0. The bottom of the first in the first of 2 this afternoon from Henley High School. Move over to first. Back safely is Shively. Reached after being hit by a pitch earlier this inning. Shively can be somewhat of a threat out there on the base paths. He's stolen 10 this season. That's 3rd most on the team. Here's the 1-1 home. Hayes takes it outside. They try to throw down to backdoor him, but Burden's throw just a bit late. Count moves now to 2-1 to Hayes. On deck after Aiden is Mark Carpenter. Here's the 2-1. Hayes takes one, missed high, I believe. Again, strike zone probably going to be a little bit lower today. Even those pitches around the letters might not be called strikes, but stuff around the shins and even graciously outside could be called strikes today. 3-1, Ethan Carlisle ready to deliver to Aiden Hayes. That pitch missed outside. And that will be a walk delivered to Hayes, bringing up Mark Carpenter. Carpenter's been in a little bit of a slump at the plate lately. Still one of the best hitters in the league, even having said that. But over his last handful of games, he's only got 1 base hit in the last 4 Henley ball games, and that was against Mazama. The 1-0. And Carpenter's been able to get on base. He's worked walks. He's got 3 of those in the last handful of games, but he's just had trouble connecting with the baseball. Here's the 1-0. Carpenter takes another one outside. 2-0. These Hornets batters being patient. He did hit a sacrifice fly and earn an RBI in Wednesday's game against Cascade Christian. And even through this slump, Carpenter, I believe, still leading the league in home runs as he takes strike 1 there, 2-1. Carpenter still leading the league in RBI as well at 39. And so again, even having slumped a bit, no doubt he is a dangerous bat. And in a 2-1 count, Carpenter can still afford to look for a pitch he wants with 2 runners on and just 1 away. Here's the pitch. Curveball. Carpenter slaps that one into left field. That's going to get down. That could score Shively. Connor rounds third, heads for home, and he will score a game-tying RBI single for Mark Carpenter. We're knotted at 1 in the bottom of the first. Give Carpenter RBI number 41 on the season. And this brings up Bo Pyle. Hayes advanced to second on the play. And so, same situation, but this time it's Bo Pyle. Runners at first and second, and just one away. Corners for Hidden Valley coming in a little bit. Mendez playing in on the grass. Lewis just a couple of steps near the bag. Both runners take off. The throw in the dirt. And Hayes and Carpenter will both advance safely. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Bo Pyle. Again, pitch was in the dirt. Ruled a ball 1-0. Pyle batting .327 this season. And 19 RBI, a perfect opportunity to try to give Henley an early lead. The 1-0 taken for a strike. A nice pitch there by Carlisle. Looked like it might have been, if it wasn't the fastball, maybe a running fastball. It just looked like there was a little bit of wrinkle running away from the right-hander Pyle. Gathers the sign from the catcher Burden. Shakes him off once. We saw that from Carlisle a little bit back in Murphy. Here's the 1-1. That pitch taken for a strike, finds the outer third. A ball and 2 strikes now. The count to Bo Pyle. On deck for the Hornets is Max Price. Big lead off a second from Carpenter, although he can't really go anywhere with Hayes standing at third. Off-speed pitch, lifted into foul territory, could be playable. And I believe that one is going to wind up out of play. Not too much wind here to take that ball out of play. Typically, if it is windy out here at Rosser Field, it's blowing out towards left, although nothing really to speak of now. Just a beautiful day for baseball. A couple of clouds as we look south. Our vantage point just behind home plate down the third base side a bit at Rosser Field. Still a 1-2 count to Bo Pyle. The Henley pitcher looking to help his own cause here. Still just 1 away. 2 runners in scoring position and a 1-2 count. Carlisle set. Carlisle checks both runners. Spins around, moves to second. Back safely is Carpenter. Hayes not going anywhere at third. Just trying to keep everybody honest. They've already double stolen once, although again, with the runner on third, Henley doesn't squeeze too much, especially with a guy like Pyle at the plate. You know he can make solid contact. Swinging away here on a 1-2 count. Pyle, late on the fastball, goes down swinging for the second out in the bottom of the first. This will bring up Max Price. This season for Max, he's batting .318 on the season. Pretty good in these spots, 20 RBI on the year. He doesn't usually get a ton of opportunities. Price will take ball 1 low. Like I said, Max doesn't typically get a lot of these opportunities with runners in scoring position, but he is batting .345 on the year with those runners in scoring position. So he gets ready for the 1-0 pitch. Price will take that one. Missed low as well, 2-0. And Ty Burden, the Hidden Valley catcher, I think, trying to clarify where that one missed a little bit. It was right around the knees, maybe a touch low. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ground ball out towards short. Mendez plays it. Throw across the diamond in time. And so the Hornets tie things up at 1. It took them 1 base hit to do it. They leave 2 runners on. 1-1 heading to the second. This is Henley Baseball.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
After one inning, tied up at 1 between the Mustangs and the Hornets. And due up this half for Hidden Valley as they try to reclaim the lead. It's the bottom of the order. Connor Graham, Gage Ayers, and Mason Klipfel. Bo Pyle starts us out with a pitch that misses high, 1-0. Looking at Graham this season, the starting right fielder for Hidden Valley as he takes strike one, even in the count now. Graham batting .339 this year. Gets on base to the tune of 37%. Graham offers up and misses at the off-speed pitch. A ball and 2 strikes to Graham. Another one of the seniors on this Hidden Valley roster. I believe there's 6 in total, and he goes down on strikes. The first out in the top of the second inning. Second strikeout of the day for Bo Pyle. So bring up Gage Ayers. This is only Gage's 15th at-bat of the season. Doesn't have a huge sample size, but he gets a hold of one, lifts one out to the pitcher's mound, and Bo Pyle will glove it. That was just hit off the inside of the bat and just kind of pushed out there. Easy catch made there by Pyle for the quick second out. And now, number 9 hitter in the order for Hidden Valley, Mason Klipfel, batting .273 on the season. First pitch to Klipfel will miss high. 1-0. Shively trying to frame that one up a little bit behind the dish, but that was right around the letters. Good call on the first ball. Here's the delivery from Pyle. That one fouled off. Even in the count now at 1 apiece. There's 2 outs in the top of the second inning. Mustangs and the Hornets tied up at 1 in the first of a doubleheader today to decide a Skyline Conference champion. 1-1 misses high, now 2-1. Just behind us at the softball complex, the Mustangs and the Hornets going at it as well. Here's the 2-1. Offered up at and missed. A pitch well out of the zone. Klipfel went chasing for an elevated fastball. But best we can, we'll keep you updated on the softball score today as well. 2-2, the curveball fouled off by Klipfel, staying alive, and the count still even at 2. Pyle doesn't really have a swing and a miss curveball. He'll get you to roll over it, but he really gets guys on that changeup. And the elevated fastball, Pyle has good command of the outside part of the zone, I guess, when he does have that command. The 2-2 is a high fastball chopped foul. On deck, top of the Mustangs order, it's Wiley Mendez. And the 2-2 pitch. Offered up at and missed. Pyle got him swinging. The Mustangs 3 up and 3 down in the top of the second. We go to the bottom half, tied at 1. 104.3 and 960 Sports, live video on mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends. How to fit in. How to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Getting ready for the bottom of the second inning, tied up at 1 between the Mustangs and the Hornets. Due up this half for Henley, the bottom third of their order. Thomas Bakke, Lane Frank, and Luke Austin. Bakke getting ready to hit now. The senior for Henley hasn't seen all that many starts this season. Although he started against Cascade Christian, swung the bat, been playing DH for Owen Harper, and I think with Owen having been struggling a lot of the year, they might rely on Bakke to begin to swing the stick a little bit. 0-1 the count to Bakke. Started out with the fastball that he took on the outside part of the plate. And here's Ethan Carlisle with the 0-1. Off-speed pitch, Bakke swung underneath it. 0-2, the count to Bakke. Carlisle ready to deliver the 0-2 pitch. Taken for ball one. Must have missed outside. That was about belt high, and it looked pretty good, but just missed outside. It's a 1-2 count to Bakke. Here's the pitch. Bakke takes the off-speed pitch into left field. That's going to get down and skate down the line. Bakke tries to round first, but stumbles as he tries to round the bag. He looks like he's okay, but he probably could have extended that into a double. Brings up Lane Frank, and Bakke is okay. They check up on him for a minute. But second base hit of the day. And here's the first pitch to Lane Frank. He's showing bunt. Frank pops up a bunt, but it'll go foul, well out of play. An 0-1 count to Lane. This season for him, batting .347. 17 RBIs. He scored 16 runs of his own. Set is Carlisle. Here's the 0-1. Showing bunt again is Frank. That pitch in the dirt, skips away from Burden for a moment, and Bakke will advance to second. So he's going to go ahead and take that base he probably earned on the knock anyway. And it's a ball and a strike, the count to Frank. We'll see if they keep the bunt on to try to move Bakke to third. Carlisle taking his time, now set. Here's the 1-1. Frank is showing that it is Mendez. He turns and throws to Zauer, covering the bag for one, but Bakke does advance to third, and now just one away for Luke Austin. Luke Austin this season batting .490. In the number 9 hole for the Henley Hornets. Austin. As a matter of fact, I don't believe he qualifies for the minimum to be a league leader because he bats towards the bottom of the order. This time bounces one out towards short. Mendez up with it, throw on to first in time, but Bakke does score. So the Hornets have a 2-1 lead with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Give Austin the RBI on the ground out. And now they're back to the top of the order are the Hornets for Peyton Price. Price 0 for 1 today. He grounded out in the first. This time rips one past the third baseman Lewis and into left field. A 2-out single for the Hornets as they try to stay in business here in the second inning, bringing up Connor Shively. Shively was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Came around to score back at the first. Carlisle having to buckle down here in the second, has surrendered the lead to the Hornets. They've got Price in a rundown on a move over to first. He's heading to second, but he beats the throw. The throw is high, and he slid underneath it. Wow, a big break there for Henley. Runner in scoring position now for Shively. And that was a major miscue there by the Mustangs. It looked like it was the shortstop Mendez running down the line to try to pin down Price, but he just ran too far. Price ended up beating the throw entirely. Here's Shively now. The first pitch to Shively is taken for a strike, 0-1. Shively calls time at the plate. Carlisle does take his time out there on the bump. Pitchers try to control the tempo out there, and for Carlisle, the tempo is slow and steady. Contrary to Bo Pyle's tempo on the other side, he likes to work quick. Here's the 0-1. Shively pops one up behind third base and out of play. And so the count moves now to 0-2 to the left-handed bat of Connor Shively. On deck after Shively, hoping for an opportunity this inning, is Aiden Hayes. But an 0-2 count to Connor and 2 outs in the inning. Runner at second is Peyton Price. Carlisle set and delivers. Off-speed pitch, Shively rips into center field. That's going to get down. And in front of the center fielder, Clipfell, rounding third, headed for home, is Price. He will score. The Hornets lead 3-1 after an RBI single from Connor Shively. And that'll bring up Aiden Hayes. Aiden Hayes batting now. He walked and was left stranded in the first inning. Henley has recorded 3 base hits in this inning to put themselves ahead. 2 runs have already scored. There are still 2 outs for Hayes as he fouls off the first pitch he sees. The count 0-1 to the Henley senior shortstop. On deck, Mark Carpenter. Carlisle set. And another move over to first, and they got Shively leaning. That time the pickoff attempt works for the Mustangs, but the Hornets do score 2 in the inning. 3 base hits, they leave 1 stranded. They lead 3-1 as we go to the top of the third. 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great. Participate.
Getting ready for the top of the third inning between the Hornets and the Mustangs of Hidden Valley High School. Mustangs got the top of the order due up in the third as they trail Henley 3-1. It's Wiley Mendez, Elijah Zauer, and Jack Matthew due up this half. Bo Pyle into his third inning of work as the starter for Henley. If he even records 1 out in this inning, that'll be longer than the start he produced on Wednesday. Now, realistically, on Wednesday, he's probably on pitch count restrictions, wanted to make him available for this ball game against Hidden Valley today. And so now it's up to Pyle to buckle down and work through some of these innings. His first task here in the third again is Wiley Mendez. Mendez 0 for 1 today. He did strike out to start the ball game back in the first. Here he fouls one off on the first pitch he sees. It's 0-1. Again, Pyle likes to work quickly out there on the mound. Gets the sign from Shively, now ready to deliver the 0-1. An elevated fastball fouled off, 0-2. Pyle does such a good job of placing that high fastball. It's typically out of the zone. He doesn't leave it high and over the middle hittable. He makes it extremely hard to get to. Here he is on the 0-2. That pitch was in the dirt, changing the eye level of the hitter Mendez, but he was taken all the way, 1-2. It's one of the things that's been so impressive about watching Bo this season, how he just changes the eye level of the hitters and gets guys really reaching. This is a ground ball that Pyle knocks down out there on the mound, throws on to first in time for the first out. And one away in the third brings up Elijah Zauer. Zauer is 1 for 1 today. He singled in the first, but he was out trying to get to third base on a single, so never really came in to score or make too much of an impact after that single. Here he waves and misses at the first pitch he sees, 0-1. Hidden Valley did string a few hits together in the first to score their only run of the ball game so far. And it did start with that Zauer single. Then Matthew followed, Mendez added one, and Brock Lewis finally knocked in the RBI before the first inning ended. The 1-1 taken for a strike. A nice breaking pitch there from Pyle. Started up and in, and then just broke down across the inner third of the plate. Zauer took it. Now the count 1-2. Here's the delivery from Pyle. That one is hit out towards right field. Frank moving underneath it, and he will make the catch for the second out. Now Jack Matthew bats for Hidden Valley. He scored the one run of the game for the Mustangs back in the first after reaching on a single. Looking to start a bit of a rally for the Mustangs. They find themselves down by 2 in their early going. The pitch, off-speed pitch, ripped towards third and underneath the glove of Carpenter into left field. A base hit for Matthew with 2 away brings up Mauricio Mendez. First pitch swinging there for Matthew. Saw what he liked and took advantage of it. Had a little bit of an awkward spin on it as Carpenter tried to play it. It kind of acted like a curveball off the bat past the glove of Carpenter. They're going to give him a base hit, as they should. And that, again, brings up Mendez. First pitch to Mendez. Takes a strike. 0-1. That pitch up and away. But Mendez taken all the way there. Mauricio is 1 for 1 today and batting .312 on the season. He singled and was left stranded back in the first. Pyle set, move over to first. Back safely is Matthew. Look at Jack Matthew on the base paths this season. Not a huge threat to go. Only 1 stolen base this season. He's also been caught once. It's an 0-2 count to Mendez at the plate as he came up empty on the 0-1 pitch. On deck for Hidden Valley, Brock Lewis hoping to hit this inning. The 0-2. That one's popped up. Looks playable behind first. Harper underneath it, and he will make the catch and end the inning. 1 base hit in the inning for the Mustangs, but they can't turn it into any runs. They trail Henley 3-1. We go to the bottom of the third next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Introducing Smith Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Bottom of the third inning, and Henley leads Hidden Valley 3-1. Due up this half for the Hornets. It's 3-4-5 in the order. Aiden Hayes, Mark Carpenter, and Bo Pyle. First pitch coming up from Ethan Carlisle. Here's the delivery. Hayes' first pitch taken for a strike. 0-1 the count to Aiden. He walked in his first at-bat, and in fact, He did get to see a couple pitches in the second inning before they picked off Shively at first. Here's the 0-1. That one's ripped into right field. Moving over is the right fielder, Graham, underneath it to make the catch for the first out. So Hayes down after a couple of pitches. This brings up Mark Carpenter. Mark RBI single back in the first inning. See if he can start to break out of his slump a little bit. Again, before today, only one base hit for Mark in the last 3 games. And here's the pitch. 0-1, pardon me, last 4 games for Carpenter, 1 base hit. But he's got one today in that RBI. Still in the league lead for that, and he takes strike 1. Here's the delivery from Carlisle. Carpenter takes that one as well. Might have been off speed to Carpenter, but it graces the outer third. 0-2 now the count. On deck is Bo Pyle. Carlisle from the windup. Breaking ball, hit back up the middle, into the gap, gloving it is Mendez across the diamond, not in time. A great effort by Wiley Mendez at short, but Carpenter just beat it out for the infield single. This brings up Bo Pyle. That was a fantastic play by the Hidden Valley shortstop there. Went all the way to almost the other side of second base to get a hand on that one, but Carpenter just beat it out. Bo Pyle, 0 for 1 today, struck out in the first. Already 1 out in this inning. Here's the pitch. Pyle swings and misses at a pitch well out of the zone. 0-1. That's the kind of pitch that Pyle gets other people to swing and miss on when he's on the mound. That elevated fastball that's about chin high. But got to buckle down. 0-1 the count to Bo. And Carlisle awaiting the sign from Burden. Now set. Decent lead off of first by Carpenter. They're going to check him, but he dives back safely. I don't know if they straight away steal Carpenter, but he can definitely advance on a pitch in the dirt, and he's got a good head for it. Another move over to first. Carpenter was a little bit late reacting to it, but the throw wasn't quite on the money from Carlisle, allowing Carpenter to get back to first. Carlisle set again and delivers the 0-1. Carpenter is on the move, and a foul ball. And the count moves now to 0-2. Carpenter making the jog back to first. Decent lead for Mark. About 4 steps off the bag, and he's already shown he's going once. Takes about another half step out there. Carlisle, long time set, now delivers home. Pyle again pops it up at the plate, stays alive in this at-bat. 0-2. On deck after Pyle is Max Price. Carlisle looking in, gets the sign again, now set. Carpenter a big lead off of first. Carlisle delivers home. Pyle reaching for that pitch in the dirt. The throw down to try to backdoor Carpenter, slides in safely. But strike 3 swinging for Pyle, second out in the inning, and that will bring up Max Price. Second time Pyle's been down on strikes today. Price 0 for 1 this afternoon. He grounded out back in the first inning. Bats with 2 away and a runner aboard at first. Carlisle set. Move over to first, and Carpenter is safe. Ooh, that was close. They're really worried about Mark over there. Again, he has shown that he's ready to go at the moment's notice, but Boy, they almost got him out there. Would have been the second time in the game. Carpenter takes off. The pitch is low in the dirt. The throw down is late. Carpenter swipes second base. They had good reason to be worried about him over there, but he winds up in scoring position. The pitch was low, called a ball to Max Price, so he's ahead in the count 1-0. After Price, Thomas Bakke in the Henley order. Carlisle set, looks at the runner Carpenter at second. Much smaller lead now that he's in scoring position and with 2 outs. The 1-0 misses low, 2-0. Was sort of surprised that they sent Carpenter in that situation, having there been 2 outs. But Mark got down there, swiped the bag. And for Carpenter this season, that is stolen base number 9 for him on the year. Second baseman Zauer trying to hold Carpenter steady over there. Retreats back to standard second base as the 2-0 pitch is taken for a strike, 2-1. Max Price this season batting .318. .375 with runners in scoring position. The 2-1 is taken for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. Bottom of the third inning, and Henley leads 3-1. Carlisle. Set with the 2-2, kicks and fires. And Price lifts one foul, stays alive in the at-bat, 2-2. And it looked like Carpenter was on the move on that 2-2 pitch. And so, see if the steal is on again, maybe a hit and run. Price, typically a good contact guy. Max has struck out 12 times this season, which is once about every other game on average. Here's the 2-2. Carlisle delivers. Carpenter on the move again. The pitch misses high, but no throw down. Burden, I think he lost control of the baseball on the transfer. And so another stolen base for Mark. 10 on the season for him. And he winds up at third, and a full count to Max Price. Here's the 3-2. And swung on and missed. Price down on strikes. A big strikeout there by Ethan Carlisle. Keeps things right where they are. Heading to the top of the fourth. Henley leads 3-1 on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Wait. All I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Getting ready for the top of the fourth inning between the Mustangs and the Hornets today. Taking a look at the line score for each of these two teams as Brock Lewis steps to the plate. Lewis, ground ball out towards second. Up with it is the second baseman Price, and on to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 away here in the fourth. Okay, for Hidden Valley so far, 1 run on 5 hits, no errors for the Mustangs. They've left 3 runners on base today. For Henley, 3 runs on 5 hits. They've also committed no errors. The Hornets have left 4 runners on base to this point in the ball game. So here we go, 1 away And this will bring up Ty Burden. Burden 0 for 1 today. He grounded out. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Pyle. That is taken low. The count now 2-0 to Burden. Burden takes strike one, a fastball that was pretty much right down Main Street for Burden. Looking at Burden this season for the Mustangs, second best hitter on the team, batting .414. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes, and 1 away in the top of the fourth. The delivery from Pyle, taken for strike 3. And another strikeout for Bo Pyle today. That is strikeout number 4 for him. And that brings up Connor Graham. Connor Graham was one of those strikeout casualties back in the second. 0 for 1 today, and he takes ball 1 outside, 1-0. Here's the delivery. That one also misses. Same spot, 2-0 to Connor Graham. Gage Ayers on deck for Hidden Valley as they try to mount a rally with 2 away in the top of the fourth. 2-0 called a strike. Nice location there from Pyle. No movement in the Hidden Valley bullpen. Would be surprised if there was. Pyle is dealing. Fires in strike 2. After a shaky first inning, Bo hasn't let too much get in his way. 2-2. Big pitch to Connor Graham. Swung on and missed, and 2 strikeouts in a row to end the fourth inning. We go to the bottom half with Henley leading 3-1 on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Bottom of the fourth inning, game 1 of a doubleheader today from Henley High School. The Hornets are taking on the Hidden Valley Mustangs and leading 3-1. Due up this half for Henley, Thomas Bakke, Lane Frank, and Luke Austin. That is 7, 8, and 9 in the Henley order. Bakke singled and would come around to score in the second inning. Henley scored 2 runs in the second inning. And they find themselves up, again, 3-1. Carlisle trying to make quick work of the Hornets. He did a pretty good job in the third, only allowing 1 base runner and a couple of Ks for Carlisle in that inning. He's got 3 total on the game. And it's a 1-0 count to Bakke after a pitch missed in the dirt. Carlisle from the windup. Here's the 1-0. That one misses down and in. 2-0. Said we'd mention the softball scores as well today. Last I saw, Henley and Hidden Valley. Softball tied at 2. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Bakke. And that one's fouled off, 2-1. Again, the score here at the Baseball Diamond, 3-1 Henley. 1 win for the Hornets today, whether it comes in this game or the next one, outright clinches the Skyline Conference title for the second straight year. The 2-1 misses low, 3-1. Hidden Valley playing for a share of the league title today, and that still does count as a league title, league championship. We've had that discussion before in the Skyline Conference concerning the Hidden Valley Mustangs. Here's the 3-1. That pitch swung on and missed in 3-2. The count to Thomas Bakke. I can remember a couple of seasons ago, I think it was 2021, if I recall. It was the COVID-shortened season. Here's the 3-2. Will be taken for ball 4. Must have been low to Bakke. That looked like a really good pitch. I believe we're going to have a substitution for Bakke on the base paths. I believe Ryan Douglas is going to come in and run for Bakke after the walk. Hidden Valley asking for clarification where that pitch missed. Head coach coming out, catcher coming out. Some fans letting our umpiring crew hear it as well. It was a good pitch to Bakke, to be fair. Here's the pitch to Frank. He bats. Showing bunt. Pulls back in time. And a 1-0 pitch. But back to what I was saying about the 2021 season. Hidden Valley and Mazama were coming down the stretch, battling it out for a league title, and they wound up finishing tied with each other. Now, Hidden Valley, at the time coached by Mark Vidlak, would not relent that they were Skyline Conference champions, even though it was a co-championship, as that pitch is fouled, 1-1. They said they finished first. If you look at OSAA.org, yes, Hidden Valley 2021, they are on top of the league. And Coach Spinner coming out, having a clarification with Lane Frank. They're trying to say that Lane made contact with the ball out after being out of the box. And we're going to get some clarification here between the umpires. Gives me time, I suppose, to finish my story, which is that Hidden Valley and Mazama were going back and forth over, is there a league championship? Is it co-titles? What is it? And we had to break out the bylaws and find out what exactly the case was. Well, there is a co-championship in baseball in the Skyline Conference. 2 teams can be crowned champions. Now, the league decides who gets the number 1 seed out of the conference, and that year it was Hidden Valley by virtue of having a better overall record than the Vikings, but 2021, still a Mazama Skyline Conference Championships. Now, 2023, when the Hornets won theirs, and looking for another one today. It looks like we've decided it was a foul ball after all, by the way, at the plate. And so now Frank showing bunt again. Corners of coming in and throwing over to first. They got Douglas leaning. And the second time that a Henley base runner today has been picked off of first base, 1 away in the 4th inning. Good move by the right-hander Carlisle. Got to hand it to him, as everybody came in, except for the first baseman Mendez, to try to cover and just got Douglas leaning. Good idea. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Frank. The bunt is off and the pitch in the dirt. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch to Frank. Fouls it off. 2-2. Bakke got awarded a walk. Douglas came in to run for him and then was picked off. So base is empty. 1 away and a 2-2 count to Lane Frank, who's 0 for 1 today after laying down a bunt. The 2-2 lined into center field. That'll be a base knock for Frank. 6th hit of the day for Henley, 1st for Lane, and that brings up Luke Austin. Austin 0 for 1 today, although when he grounded out in the 2nd, it was an RBI for Luke. When he scored at the time, Thomas Bakke. Now, Austin bats with a runner on first and 1 out. Luke batting .490 this year. And awaits the first pitch from Carlisle. Now, we were talking about Austin last time he was up to bat. He's been a really good hitter this year for Henley as he lifts one here into center field. Under it now is Clipfell, and 1 pitch, 1 away. We try to talk about Luke Austin again, but he just heads down. I'll finish my thought, which is that because Henley finishes games early, often run-ruling teams, Austin, as the number 9 hitter, doesn't get that many at-bats, especially when the lineup turns over, 3-4 times in a standard game. Typically, it might only turn over once or twice for the Hornets. And so he is batting .490, but doesn't meet the league minimum requirements to get into the kind of leaderboards, or what you would say, for leading the conference in any major statistical category. So interesting for Luke, but a deadly hitter flies out there. Big break for the Mustangs. 2 away now for Peyton Price. Move over to first. Back safely is Frank. Price 1 for 2 today, singled and grounded out so far. Now on the move is Frank. The throw down will wind up in center field. Frank going to stay put at second. Believe that pitch was called a ball at the plate. And a 1-0 count to Peyton Price. Grounded out in the first, singled and scored in the second. On deck is Connor Shively. Burden delivers the sign to Carlisle, now set. And he's going to step off. Carlisle, as a matter of fact, didn't like the call, and so now he's ready to go. Back on the rubber and set with the 1-0 pitch. Here it is. Fouled off. Price, bit underneath, maybe a bit late on the fastball. 1-1. 6 Henley base hits today have led to 3 Hornets runs. Carlisle set with the 1-1. Checks the runner at second. Frank now delivers to the plate. A curveball that just missed high. And now 2-1. Believe Burden trying to frame that one up a little bit, but just couldn't quite control it. It skipped away from him for a moment, but Frank not really moving anywhere, stays put at second. Now it's a 2-1 count to the plate to Price. Right-hander set and delivers. Swung on and missed. Another high fastball, 2-2. Price is offered up at a couple of those in the ball game. Now has to get defensive in a 2-strike count. See if Carlisle finds a put-away pitch here. Carlisle shakes off his catcher once, now decides on a pitch. Here's the 2-2. That one looked like a high fastball, popped up in the infield. Playable for somebody. It'll be the third baseman, Lewis, who calls everybody off and makes a catch to end the inning. 1 base hit in the inning for Henley. They can't make it into any runs. It's still a 3-1 ball game, and the Hornets lead heading to the 5th. 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
A 3-1 ball game as we are in the top of the 5th inning between the Hornets and the Mustangs. And leading off this inning for Hidden Valley, Gage Ayers, Mason Klipfel, and Wiley Mendez. That's 8, 9, and 1 in the Hidden Valley order. All right, Ayers stepping in now. He's 0 for 1 today. He popped out to the pitcher in his first plate appearance. Here's the pitch. That one is ripped foul. Look out to the folks watching the softball game in the outfield. Here's an 0-1. I can remember sitting out in the outfield broadcasting softball games here at Henley High School. Every so often, you get a foul ball headed your way from the baseball diamond. Not a really pleasant surprise, I'll be honest. It's an 0-2 count now to Ayers as he came up empty on the 0-1 fastball. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Off speed, wrapped foul down the third baseline. And so Ayers stays alive in this at-bat. Sample size to look for on the season, but batting under 200. This time he pops one up in front of the Henley dugout, and that one will wind up out of play foul. That one came close to hitting a couple people who are close to the baseball field. I don't see many people bringing their glove to the ballpark anymore, but never a bad idea. It's an 0-2 count to Ayers. 143 hitter on the season. Here's the 0-2. Pitch missed high, 1-2. That was that put-away pitch Pyle likes to go to every now and then after staying low in the zone, going with that elevated fastball. That time the curveball got Ayers looking. Strike 3 called and 1 away in the 5th. That'll bring up Mason Klipfel. Klipfel 0 for 1 today, struck out in the 2nd. Looking at Mason Klipfel this season for Hidden Valley. He is batting .273. Comes up empty on the first pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1. 6 strikeouts on the day for Bo Pyle. He misses there on the 0-1 pitch. Most of his strikeouts have come in the bottom half of the the Hidden Valley order. That one will miss as well, 2-1. 5 of his 6 strikeouts have come from batters 6 and lower in the Hidden Valley order, as that pitch swung on and missed, 2-2. On deck again after Klipfel is Wiley Mendez. The 2-2, an elevated fastball got Klipfel chasing. Strike 3, swung on and missed, and now 2 away in the top of the 5th inning. Henley leads Hidden Valley 3-1 in a Skyline Conference game. Want to welcome all of you now listening on 104.3 and 960 Sports. If you found us on the radio, appreciate you being with us. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat to Mendez, called a strike, 0-1. Pyle ready with the 0-1 pitch, and that is looked at for strike 2. Looked like the changeup that just found the outer third. Now Mendez, who's already 0 for 2 today and struck out once, has to get defensive. The 0-2 misses high, 1-2. That pitch wound up above the head of Mendez. Had to duck out of the way a bit and stays alive in this at-bat. Pyle ready to deliver from the windup. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Pyle ready to go. That pitch swung on, fouled off. Count remains 2-2. After Mendez in the order, it's Elijah Zauer. Here's the 2-2. That one will miss. Good at-bat working here for Wiley Mendez. Started the at-bat down 0-2 and has now worked the count full. The Mustangs just trying to get base runners down by 2 in the second half of this ball game, and they do just that. A walk worked by Wiley Mendez will bring up Elijah Zauer. Zauer 1 for 2 today. He singled in the first, flew out in the third. Elijah Zauer this season for Hidden Valley, batting .371. Looking at Wiley Mendez out there at first, the shortstop. He's got some speed. A ball in the gap could score him. That pitch misses high, 1-0. Decent lead off of first with Mendez. That pitch popped foul. And now the count 1-1. Set his pile. And move over to first. Back safely is Mendez. Reached on a walk a few moments ago. On deck for Hidden Valley is Jack Matthew. And the pitch. Off-speed pitch. Just underneath it is Sauer. He popped it foul. Had it timed pretty well. But again, just swung underneath it and fouled it off. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Pyle could go pretty much anywhere. He's worked the hard stuff. A couple of off-speed pitches to Sauer. See where he decides to go on the 1-2 as he comes set. And the delivery. That one is popped up behind second base. Playable for the shortstop, Hayes, to end the inning. 1 base runner left for Hidden Valley. No base hits. They still trail by 2. It's 3-1 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th. 104.3, 960 Sports, mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Getting ready for the bottom of the 5th inning from Rosser Field at Henley High School. And as we move throughout the first of a doubleheader today, Henley leads Hidden Valley 3-1. Due up this half for the Hornets, Connor Shively, Aiden Hayes, Mark Carpenter. That's 2, 3, 4 in the Henley order. Ethan Carlisle still dealing for Hidden Valley. He's done a good job. That pitch misses low, 1-0. Carlisle hasn't given up any runs since the Hornets plated 2 in the second. Hornets have gotten a couple runners in scoring position, but Carlisle has danced out of a couple of jams in the middle of this ball game. The 1-0 misses down, 2-0. Again, Carlisle a sub-3 ERA and has faced some adversity, I think, in this ball game, having to deal with a couple of miscues from his defense that don't necessarily show up in the scorebook as errors, but just a couple of questionable moves from the Mustangs. But Carlisle has really stayed pat and worked through this ball game. If your head coach, Justin Spinner, got to be happy with the performance he's turned in so far. The 3-0 pitch to Shively is going to miss high. A 4-pitch walk awarded to the Henley catcher, and we'll see if they get a runner in for him. And no, they're going to keep Shively on the base paths. They don't typically run for Shively unless there's 2 outs. And so they're going to keep him in the game there. It's the 3rd time Shively's reached base today. He did so by a hit by pitch and a base hit in his previous 2 at-bats. This will bring up Aiden Hayes. Carlisle set before eyeing down the runner at first. Now moves over. Decent lead off of first now by Shively. First pitch to Hayes. He thought about a bunt. Takes strike 1. Throw down at first to try to get Shively, but he's back safely. 0-1. The count to the Henley shortstop. Set is Carlisle with the 0-1. Taken off from first is Shively. The pitch was low, called a ball, the throw right on the money, but Shively slides in safely. One and one, the count to Hayes. Mark Carpenter waits on deck. Carlisle's going to step off before delivering the 1-1 pitch. Now gathering the sign in from Burden. And here he goes with the 1-1. Off-speed pitch missed inside to Hayes. 2-1. Hayes walked in the first, flew out in the third, Buddy out in the fifth. Mustangs look like they're going to move their infield in, or we're going to have time called, and this will probably be a discussion to find out how the Mustangs want to defend this situation. Down by 2, the runner at third and nobody out. And while they discuss, we'll remind you that today's broadcast on mybasin.com and 104.3 960 Sports is brought to you by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi. Okay, so it looks like the conference on the mound has concluded, and the Hidden Valley infield is playing in. They're going to try to cut down Shively at third. It's a 3-1 count, and Aiden Hayes to bat. Henley leads 3-1. Here's the pitch. That one will miss in. Hayes had to scoot out of the way for it, and now runners at the corners for Henley. Still nobody out. And Mark Carpenter to bat now. That's back-to-back walks given up by Carlisle. When heading into that bat, he'd only given up 2 all game. Carpenter 2 for 2 today. A couple of base hits for Mark. And the corners playing in. Middle infield, double play depth. Don't be surprised, the ball hit hard to the corners. They decide to come home with it and try to cut down Shively. Here's the pitch. Breaking for second is Aiden Hayes. They're not going to throw down, so Hayes now into scoring position, and this will probably prompt the Mustang defense to come back and play in to try to cut down the lead runner. Two in scoring position for the league leader in RBI. The pitch to Carpenter, taken for a strike, an elevated strike one. Carpenter probably not thrilled with the call, although admittedly the strike zone has seemed on the move today. A 1-1 to Carpenter, and Carlisle will step off. On deck after Carpenter is Bo Pyle. Hoping for an opportunity this inning. Again, still nobody out for the Hornets. Carlisle delivers the 1-1. That pitch in the dirt, 2-1. Nobody moving. A decent block by Burden there to keep it in front of him and keep the runners where they are. Carlisle has been in spots like this today. I look back to the third inning when there was a runner on third with only one out. Struck out the next 2 batters to get out of it. Look at what happened in the fourth inning. 2 runners on, back-to-back flyouts. Carlisle has gotten out of these jams before. A 2-1 pitch swung on and missed by Carpenter, but he has yet to have to do it by going through the teeth of the Henley offense. These are big at-bats on the way by guys like Carpenter, who's even in the count at 2. Bo Pyle and Max Price, the next few guys up in the Hornets order. 2-2, the count. Carlisle looking in, and time is called by Carpenter, the hitter. Again, Hidden Valley infield, the defense in. They're going to try to keep the runner Shively at third where he is. They've also got a runner at second. It's Aiden Hayes. Here's the 2-2 from Carlisle. That pitch popped up behind first base. I think that's going to be out of play behind the bag, and so the count remains 2-2. Carpenter already 1 RBI today on a single in the first. Now settles back in on the 2-2. Everybody here on the edge of their seats, they know the game can flip on just these next few at-bats. The 2-2, Carpenter down swinging. Big strikeout there by the visiting Mustangs, Carlisle. And this is the second visit to the mound by the Mustangs coaching staff this inning. I think that means they have to make a switch. And so Coach Spinner going to take the ball from Ethan Carlisle. They're going to be putting a lot of faith in somebody when we come back. Carlisle claps from the Hidden Valley faithful here today at Henley High School. And when we come back, we'll meet the new pitcher for the Mustangs. Right now, Henley leads 3-1 in the bottom of the fifth inning on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
New pitcher in for the Hidden Valley Mustangs. It is Logan Law. Law is a freshman for the Mustangs, inheriting a less than ideal situation. 2 runners in scoring position and just 1 away, but we'll look at Logan Law on the season. This is his 7th appearance. He's worked 9 2/3 innings, a 1-1 win-loss record. Law has a 0.0 ERA. He has yet to give up an earned run this season. Now, 3 runs have come across on Logan's ledger, but all unearned. And the 2 runners that are out there right now in scoring position, not his responsibility. If they score, they would be credited to Ethan Carlisle, who walked Connor Shively and walked Aiden Hayes. Now, both of those guys in scoring position, 1 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. It was a strikeout as Carpenter went down swinging. So it'll be Bo Pyle to try to knock in those runners for the Hornets. Now, Pyle hasn't had much luck at the plate today. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. See how the freshman Law fares against these Hornets. And I believe we saw Logan last time these 2 teams met up. And we did. April 16th, Logan Law pitched 1 inning. Gave up 2 hits. Again, 2 runs, neither of them earned. He walked 1 and struck out 1 last time he played the Hornets. Again, that was back on April 16th. Bo Pyle for the Hornets. Looking at Bo this season. He's batting .327. The right-hander Law looks in, gets the sign from Burden. That pitch in the dirt. 1-0. Burden a good job of keeping that pitch in front of him with 2 runners in scoring position. Just about anything that kicks away from you as a catcher, you have that in the back of your mind that there could be a runner breaking for the plate. 1-0 count to Bo Pyle. Law set and delivers. That pitch also low, 2-0. Infield still in for the Mustangs, as with only one out, they're going to try to go home with a hard hit ground ball. Law looks in, gets the sign from Burden, shook him off once, now agrees. Here's the 2-0. That pitch also misses low and away, 3-0. 3 straight pitches in the dirt from Law out of the bullpen. He's got to come in the zone here, but first base is open, and a walk here makes it a force at any base. Not the worst situation to find yourself in for the Mustangs, but you'd like to get this hitter. Law set and delivers. Swung on and missed on a pitch that was in the zone. 3-1. The count to Pyle. On deck is Max Price. Law looks in, takes his time, now set. The 3-1 pitch. That one's low and away. A walk delivered to Bo Pyle brings up Max Price. Now, double play in effect for the Mustangs and a force at any base. So you're going to see the corners, Mendez and Lewis, stay in on the grass. And the shortstop and second baseman, Mendez and Zauer, they're going to play for a double play up the middle. Max Price to hit. Price 0 for 2 today. A ground out and a strikeout in the first and third innings. I'm sure Law would like either one of those results here. And in fact, the Mustangs going to play everybody in and try to go home with it instead of turning 2. And admittedly, Price, he can get down the line pretty quickly, so not the worst decision to maybe just settle for 1 if you have to for Hidden Valley and just get the out at the plate. It's a 1-0 count to Price. Set is Law. And the delivery. That pitch in the dirt. Burden keeps it in front of him, and the count now 2-0. On deck is Thomas Baki, and we're going to have another visit to the mound this inning from the Hidden Valley coaching staff, and a fine time for us to remind you that the Oregon Schools Activities Association is always looking for athletic officials, whether it's baseball, softball. I know they're looking for volleyball and wrestling. Basketball is always in need. Just about any sport you could think of. If you love it, you want to stay involved and earn a bit of money, you should become an athletic official. There's a shortage all over the state, and we need you now more than ever. OSAA.org/officials to get more information on how you can get registered. It's a 2-0 count to Price. And it looks like we might be trying to get somebody up in the Hidden Valley bullpen. But they got to decide. Well, first they got to get out of this inning. Not sure who they've got left in their dugout to go warm up and pitch. Whoever they'd like might be out there on defense. It's a 2-0 count to Max Price. The base is loaded, and Henley leads by 2. That pitch popped up behind first base. That's certainly playable. Mendez, the first baseman, is going to end up letting that one drop. The wind might have caught it for a moment, but just kind of landed in no man's land in foul territory. It does move the count to 2-1. Max Price, .318 hitter. Law, the right-hander. He's going to come set with the 2-1. Pitch in the dirt, 3-1. Wouldn't be surprised to see Max Price taking all the way on this 3-1 pitch with the bases loaded. Again, on deck is Thomas Baki. Still one away in this inning that is yet to broke loose for the Hornets. And that pitch will miss. Shively will score. Hayes moves to third. Pyle to second. Price now aboard at first. And the Hornets lead 4-1. Bottom of the fifth inning. Here's Thomas Baki. Baki is 1 for 1, singled and walked in the game so far. Came around to score back in the second inning. Set is Law. and he'll step off. Going to have a meeting between the catcher now. Burden comes out, visits with Logan Law. Hidden Valley defense, the infield, still playing in, going to try to cut down the lead runner. But it's about throwing strikes. Already 4 walks this inning for the Hidden Valley pitching staff. 2 credited to Ethan Carlisle and 2 more to Logan Law. Only guy who hasn't walked this inning was Mark Carpenter, and he went down on strikes. So not even a ball put in play this inning, and Henley's already scored a run. It's an 0-1 count to Bakke. At third, it's Hayes. At second, it's Pyle. Price at first. And set the pitcher Law with the 0-1. Here it is. That one's popped up behind home plate. And that one will wind up out of play foul. An 0-2 count to Thomas Bakke. On deck is Lane Frank. Set is Law, and the 0-2. Off-speed pitch had Bakke reaching a beautiful bending curveball to get the designated hitter for Henley. Now 2 outs for Lane Frank. Not much more you can say about that pitch for the freshman Law. That was a fantastic curveball. Lane Frank bats now. He's 1 for 2, grounded out in the second. And he singled in the fourth, was left stranded in scoring position last inning. Bases loaded, 2 away. The first pitch to Frank is in the dirt. Burden kept it around him, lost it at his feet for a moment, but it didn't kick away. So all the runners, they're staying put. (1-0) the count to the plate to Frank, and the pitch. That one is hit. High to right center field, but playable. Underneath it, the center fielder Klipfel. And that will end the inning. 1 run comes across, but all things considered, the Mustangs escape certain disaster. Henley still leads by 3. 4-1 the score as we go to the 6th. 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Top of the 6th inning, and Henley in front of Hidden Valley 4-1. The Mustangs, the Hornets did score 1 run in the bottom of the 5th. No base hits required. It was all on walks, but now it's up to the Mustangs to try and respond. Leading off for Hidden Valley this half inning, Jack Matthew, Mauricio Mendez, and Brock Lewis. That one misses, and a 2-0 count to Matthew. Take a look at Matthew today, 2 for 2. He takes a ball there, 3-0. Matthew singled and scored in the first. Singled and was left stranded in the third. That one will miss. And a 4-pitch walk delivered to Jack Matthew. Brings up Mauricio Mendez. We're going to be seeing some movement in the Henley bullpen. It looks like Corbin Hamilton getting ready to throw down there. Right-handed freshman for the Hornets. Spo Pyle into his 6th inning of work as the starter. See how long of a leash they give him here, as this is a ground ball into left field for a single, the first pitch that Mendez sees. Matthew advances to second. Board at first is Mendez after the single. 6th base hit of the day for the Mustangs. That brings up Brock Lewis. And it makes Mendez 2 for 3. Brock Lewis 1 for 2 today. RBI single in the first. And he grounded out in the 4th inning. And time is called. Coach Connor coming out of the dugout, probably just to try to give Corbin Hamilton a bit more time to warm up in the bullpen. But in the meantime, we'll remind you that today's broadcast is brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist. That's why Les Schwab does more than install tires and wheels. Come on in for a free pre-trip safety check. They're going to make sure that everything is in working order at Les Schwab Tires. 3 locations down here in the Basin, South 6th Street, Washburn Way. And in Merrill, Les Schwab Tires has been doing the right thing since 1952. Coach Connor heading back to the dugout. And looks like we're just about ready for baseball. Brock Lewis to bat now for Hidden Valley. Set is Bo Pyle. Delivers the first pitch to the right-handed hitting Lewis. Misses high, 1-0. That was a curveball intended to break into the zone. Just didn't have enough bite on it. After Lewis in the Hidden Valley order, it's Ty Burden. That pitch finds the zone. A nice fastball. Might have been the 2-seamer from Pyle. Started out of the zone, broke back across the plate to the right-handed hitting Lewis. Bo Pyle set with the 1-1 and delivers a curveball hit towards third. Carpenter on to second for 1. The back end is not in time. Ooh, Bakke can't believe it. Now it's Harper actually out there. He leapt to catch the ball, came back down on the base just too late. So Matthew advances to third. Mendez was out trying to go to second. Lewis reaches on the fielder's choice, and that puts runners at the corners with 1 away for Ty Burden. Looks like, no one's coming out of the dugout to argue about the call at first. It was a close play. Sometimes you'll see Coach Tack get out there just tossing a couple words. Wouldn't have been surprised if they did it just to allow Hamilton to warm up a little bit more in the bullpen. First pitch to Burden is fouled off, 0-1. After Burden in the Hidden Valley order, it's Connor Graham. Here's the 0-1. Curveball called a strike. A nice bender there from Pyle. 0-2. It's one of the best opportunities in a while that Hidden Valley has had to score. In fact, their first time with a runner in scoring position since the first inning. That one's fouled off. Count remains 0-2. That's when Hidden Valley scored their only run of the game. Back in the first. Since then, they actually didn't have a base runner until the third, late in the third inning. But everybody has been stopped at first until now we've got Jack Matthew at third. Curveball, belted foul, count remains 0-2. Good battle brewing at the plate for Ty Burden. He's 0 for 2 today, really trying to get Pyle to work for this out. Henley leads by 3. Burden represents the tying run at the plate with 1 out. And he rips one into left field. That is caught by Austin in left. Tagging and scoring from third is Jack Matthew. And a sacrifice fly plus the RBI makes this a 4-2 ball game. This brings up Connor Graham. And Lewis stays put at first for Graham. Graham is 0 for 2 today. First pitch to Graham offered up at and missed, 0-1. That's a big run for Hidden Valley in the context of this ball game. Don't want to leave that much of an advantage up to the 7th inning alone. So even just that one helps the Mustangs out quite a bit. Ooh, nice curveball there by Pyle. Had Graham chasing for it. He's already got Graham down on strikes twice today, trying to offer up the hat trick to the Hidden Valley right fielder. Move over to first, and back safely is Lewis. Close play over there at first, but he's in there. Pyle set. Delivers the 0-2 to Graham. Fouled off. 2 away in the inning. An 0-2 count. Top of the 6th. Henley leads Hidden Valley 4-2. Decent lead off of first by Lewis. Nothing remarkable. The pitch home is fouled off. Another off-speed pitch that Graham fought off. On deck after Graham, should he get on base, is Gage Ayers. Pyle set, and the delivery is popped foul. Another move over to first. It's past Harper. Skips down the right field line, and Lewis will advance to second base. Now, a base knock from Graham could make things interesting. Hidden Valley dugout, vocal. They are into this at-bat much like the rest of us. The 0-2 fouled off again. Graham putting up one heck of an effort at the plate. See where Bo Pyle decides to go here. It's been 0-2. Pyle hasn't gone outside the strike zone at all this at-bat. Shively calling for the high fastball. There it is. It's going to miss high. Good idea to lay off for Shively. One-two the count to Connor Graham. Pyle. Pitch down and in, fouled off again. Graham starting to see the ball really well. And he's making good contact. Pyle trying to put him away. Already 1 run home this inning for the Mustangs. 1 more in scoring position. That is an off-speed pitch popped up. That is playable for the third baseman Carpenter. He'll make the catch to retire the side. The Mustangs do score 1 on 1 base hit in the inning. They also leave 1 stranded. The score 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. 104.3 and 960 Sports and HD video on mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great. Participate!
Bottom of the sixth inning. And due up this half for Henley. Luke Austin, Peyton Price, Connor Shively, they lead by 2. The score 4-2. And I believe we've got a new pitcher in for the Mustangs. It's going to be Wiley Mendez. See if we can find out who's out there at short for Hidden Valley. Looks like we've got Hunter Gillette moving into second, and Zauer has moved over to short. So those are your changes for the Mustangs, and we can close the book on the 2 Hidden Valley pitchers who worked out of the 5th inning. Taking a look at the final line score for Ethan Carlisle. He would be on the hook for the loss if the lead holds for Henley. 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. Each of them earned 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Law wrapped up the 5th inning, worked 2/3, and walked 2, struck out 1. No runs came across for Logan Law. Taking a look at Wiley Mendez on the season as he fires in the 1-0 pitch. That one taken low now, 2-0. Mendez, right-handed thrower, a junior. Wiley is in his 5th appearance of the year, 7 innings pitched, and an ERA of 7. That pitch also in the turf, 3-0 to Luke Austin, who's 0 for 2 today. Grounded out and flown out in his 2 at-bats, but he does have an RBI on the ground out. Check in on the score at the softball diamond. They're probably close to finishing up over there. The Henley Lady Hornets up in front of Hidden Valley 10-2. Here at the baseball diamond, Henley leads 4-2, and they get a 4-pitch walk delivered to Luke Austin. That brings up Peyton Price. Price 1 for 3 in the ball game. Ground out, fly out, but a single in the second, then he came around to score. Price awaits the first pitch to him. Showing bunt, pulls back. The pitch misses high, and it's a 1-0 count to the Henley center fielder. Peyton celebrated his senior day back on Wednesday against Cascade Christian. The Hornets opting not to do senior day today, the final home game of the season. Maybe trying to limit distractions heading into a big series against the Mustangs. Throw over to first, back safely is Austin. Price, Luke Austin, Aiden Hayes, Owen Harper, Thomas Bakke, the seniors for Henley. A perfect bunt laid down the first base line for Price. Underhand toss by Mendez, the pitcher, onto Mauricio Mendez for the out. Luke Austin advanced to second on the play, did his job. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning as the Hornets try to build upon this lead before trying to close things out in the 7th. As Connor Shively will bat now. Shively's reached base safely all 3 times today. He's been hit by a pitch and he's walked. Also had an RBI single in the second. Pitch to Shively in the dirt, blocked by Burden. He's put in some good work behind the dish today. Always can respect the work of a good catcher. And Burden, as far as blocking the ball from getting away for him, he's done a good job. A 1-0 count to Shively. The Henley catcher awaits the pitch. It's taken outside, 2-0. After Shively in the Henley order, it's Aiden Hayes. Hornets, with a win here, would win the Skyline Conference outright. The 2-0. Ground ball out towards second. Gillette up with it and throw on to first in time. Second out in the 6th, but Luke Austin does advance to third. This brings up Aiden Hayes. Hayes is 0 for 1 today. He flew out in the third, but he has walked twice. Got to third base each time before having to stop there. Set is Mendez. And the pitch. That one low. 1-0 the count. And if you're wondering, for the Mustangs coming up next inning, it's going to be Gage Ayers, Mason Klipfel, and Wiley Mendez. So they'll try to answer the call against Henley. Runner 90 feet away for the Hornets. Popped up. Hayes fouls it off. The count even now at 1. The Hornets have put a runner in scoring position at least one in every single inning this ball game. The fact that they've only scored 4 is a testament to the toughness of the Hidden Valley pitchers. A 1-1 count to Hayes. That one is hit in the air in foul territory. Looks out of play, and the count moves now to 1-2. Carpenter waits on deck for the Hornets. Mendez comes set, delivers the 1-2. Off-speed pitch, rung him up. A nice placement to the curveball, shocked Aiden Hayes. And that will end the inning. The Hornets leave one runner stranded at third. They try to close things out in the 7th, leading 4-2. 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Top of the 7th inning, and the Henley Hornets 3 outs away from a Skyline Conference championship. Gage Ayers, Mason Klipfel, and Wiley Mendez, the ones to try and stop them. Looking at Ayers today, 0 for 2. He's flown out and struck out so far. First pitch to him called a strike, 0-1. Hornets sticking with Bo. He's out there on the bump for his 7th inning. Pyle looking for the complete game if they let him go the distance. A nice curveball. It does miss high, 1-1. Seen a couple of different right-handers up and throwing in the Henley bullpen. Mark Carpenter was throwing a bit. We saw Corbin Hamilton throw earlier in the game. It's the 1-1 taken for a strike, now 1-2. The 1-2 fouled off. Will stay with the 1-2 count. And it looks like Hidden Valley softball team has come over to join and watch the finale of this ball game. The Henley Lady Hornets held on to beat Hidden Valley softball earlier today, 10-2. That score is final. In the meantime, still looking to wrap up this baseball contest. The count 2-2. And the pitch down. The count is full now to Gage Ayers. 4-2 the score. Henley up by 2 in the top of the 7th inning. The 3-2 rolled out towards first. That's in no man's land. Pyle is going to be thrown out. They're trying to make the argument that the ball bounced off Ayers before bouncing fair. It does look like Ayers kind of came up limping. We'll see if there's a change made. Coach Spinner's out of the dugout. He's going to make a case that the ball was fouled off of his foot, which would rule it a dead ball. Let's see. Nope, that's it. Ayers is out on the throw. 1-3 in the book. Mustangs down to their final 2 outs. Here's Mason Klipfel to bat. Pitch from Pyle. Misses high. 1-0 the count. Klipfel 0 for 2 today. A couple of strikeouts in the second and fifth innings. He takes strike 1. The count even. After Klipfel in the Hidden Valley order, it's Wiley Mendez. Here's the 1-1. That one misses away. 2-1. Seeing a couple team moms for Hidden Valley look like putting together a snack table over here in between games. Again, this is only the first of 2 this afternoon from Rosser Field. The 2-1 swung underneath. 2-2. Second game to start probably about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Klipfel awaits the 2-2, fouls it off. Here's the 2-2. Swung and a miss, a piss in the dirt. Shively keeps it in front of him, throw on to first. Strike him out, throw him out there for the second out. Third strikeout of the day for Klipfel. And that will bring up Wiley Mendez, the last hope for the Mustangs in this contest. Hornets pitching coach Craig Connor out of the dugout. The Hornets might be making a change with just 1 out to go, and they will. They're taking the ball from Bo Pyle, and we'll take a break. Corbin Hamilton will introduce you to him coming up on the other side. Henley leads 4-2, the top of the 7th, 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Corbin Hamilton into the game for the Hornets, tasked with recording the final out of the ball game. Hamilton trying to collect his first save of the season. This will be his 10th appearance of the year, 33 1/3 innings of work. Hamilton, the freshman, .84 ERA. That is pretty remarkable in his freshman campaign. Again, just looking to get the final out of this ball game. It's Wiley Mendez standing between the Hornets and back-to-back Skyline Conference titles. The first pitch taken for a strike. Oh, 0-1 the count. Mendez 0 for 2 today, takes strike 2, a pitch low and away. Mendez probably not thrilled with that call, but now has to buckle down. An 0-2 count, and the Mustangs down to their final strike. Here's the pitch from Hamilton. That one is taken wide, 1-2. Right-hander delivers the 1-2 to Wiley Mendez. Curveball comes in, and I believe that got Mendez in his jersey. And so he'll be awarded first. It brings up Elijah Zauer. Zauer today 1 for 3. Singled in the first, has flown out to right field in the third inning and shortstop in the fifth inning. He represents the tying run in this game. The pitch is going to find the zone, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Weekly hit out towards short. Racing down the line is Zauer, but the throw from Hayes beats him. And the Henley Hornets stand alone as your 2024 Skyline Conference champions. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll recap this ball game for you as the Hornets take care of business. They beat Hidden Valley 4-2, 104.3 and 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
Introduce Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Final score of Game 1 of a doubleheader this afternoon. The Henley Hornets defeated the Hidden Valley Mustangs 4-2. For Henley today, 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors. They left 9 runners on base. For Hidden Valley today, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and they left 6 runners on base. Our winning pitcher today, Bo Pyle. He almost went the distance, pitching 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks. He struck out 8. Corbin Hamilton picked up the save. 1/3 innings pitched, and it was a strikeout, I believe, to end 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And let's take a look at some offensive notables. We'll start with Henley today. A couple of guys with 2 hits, actually only 1. Mark Carpenter, 2 for 3 today. Max Price had an RBI today as well. Connor Shively, 1 for 2, an RBI, 2 runs scored for him. And the Henley Hornets have clinched the Skyline Conference outright for the 2nd straight season. But both of these teams are headed to the playoffs, and both teams have 1 more game left to go. We're going to take a short break here on mybasin.com, 104.3 and 960 Sports. If you're listening on the radio, you'll be returned to normal Fox Sports radio programming. If you're watching on mybasin.com, just stay right here. The link doesn't change. We'll be back in probably about 20-ish minutes for the start of Game 2. Hope to see you there. This is Josh Eldridge saying see you soon from Rosser Field at Henley High School. And a very pleasant good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome back to Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. Today, the second of a doubleheader between the Hornets and the Mustangs. Already a 4-2 victory in the book for the Hornets, along with the Skyline Conference Championship, their second consecutive title. They got one more game to go in the regular season, the Skyline Conference schedule against the Hidden Valley Mustangs. Henley 15-0 in conference play, looking to go unbeaten with one more win. Hidden Valley looking to spoil that with their 12-3 record. Our coaches meeting at home plate. We'll take one break here on the pregame show. When we come back, we'll introduce you to the starting lineups. We'll get first pitch on the way. It's all coming up. 104.3 960 Sports, MyBasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place and then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Jumping straight into the action as first pitch is called a strike. Mark Carpenter on the mound for the Henley Hornets. Wiley Mendez to bat for the Hidden Valley Mustangs. He'll lead things off. Batting second, Elijah Zauer at second base. Jack Matthew, the pitcher, bats third for Hidden Valley. Mauricio Mendez, the first baseman, bats fourth with Brock Lewis. Batting fifth, the third baseman. Ty Burden will bat sixth, and is catching today. Connor Graham bats seventh in right field. Gage Ayers, the designated hitter, bats eighth, followed by Mason Klipfel, rounding out the order. An 0-2 count already. Carpenter deals. It's an off-speed pitch, waved at and missed, and that is the first out of this ball game. Mendez down on strikes, bringing up Zauer. Taking a look at Mark Carpenter on the hill this season. This is his sixth start of the year. He's 4-0 in his decisions. This is his 13th appearance overall and 39 and a third innings work. Carpenter, a 7.12 ERA. One of only two pitchers in the entire Skyline Conference who have a sub-1 ERA. The other, Well, that would be his teammate, Corbin Hamilton. Here's the 0-1. That one misses down and in. A ball and a strike to Elijah Zauer. Looking at Zauer last game was 1 for 4. He singled in the first. Since then, he's flown out twice and grounded out. Takes strike 2 called. 1-2, the count to Zauer. Here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch, nice bender from Carpenter, missed low, 2-2. Looking at Zauer this year, 365 hitter. It's the Mustangs looking to stop the Hornets from going unbeaten in Skyline Conference play. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It is down and away. Count runs full now, 3-2 to Elijah Zauer. Glad you could be with us for both legs of a doubleheader today. If you missed game 1, as always, you can watch it on mybasin.com. It was a 4-2 Henley win. Here's the full count pitch. That one misses low. And a 1-out walk issued to Zauer brings up Jack Matthew. Matthew starting on the hill today for Hidden Valley, although getting his first look as a hitter here in the top of the first inning. Jack Matthew this year batting .414. Decent lead off of first by Zauer. Here's the pitch by Carpenter. That'll be in the zone for a strike. Carpenter's fastball, mid-80s. Breaks off the curveball and the circle change. Carpenter also has a pretty nasty slider. Different from his curveball, more running away from the right-handers than breaking up and down. The 0-1 home. That one, another fastball, finds the lower third to Matthew. 0-2 the count to the Hidden Valley pitcher. Carpenter set. And the pitch. That one is called a ball. Must have missed high, maybe inside. 1-2 the count to Matthew. Only about a 2-step lead off of first from Zauer. And Carpenter ready with the 1-2. That pitch skips away from Shively off the backstop. Advancing to second is Zauer. And the Mustangs have a runner in scoring position for the middle of their order. Still only 1 out. Matthew looking to drive in the opening run of the ball game. The Mustangs struck first earlier today, but they couldn't hold on to the lead. And Henley ended up victorious, but again, they did score a run in the top of the first earlier today. This time Matthew flares one out left field, down in front of Austin. They're going to hold the runner Zauer at third. Aboard at first is Jack Matthew. And so a single puts runners at the corners with still just 1 away. Going to have a runner come in for the pitcher Matthew. On the base paths now for Hidden Valley is Hunter Gillette. Connor Shively, the catcher, delivers signs to his infield. Double play in effect as Mauricio Mendez bats now for the Mustangs. First pitch to Mendez, low, 1-0. Mustangs wearing their orange road uniforms, blue letters across the back, Mustangs across the chest, gray pants today for Hidden Valley. The 1-0 grounded over towards short. Hayes going to toss to Pyle for 1. Over to Harper, and the Hornets turn 2 to end the threat in the first. We go to the bottom half scoreless. 104.3, 960 Sports, and on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Starting lineup for the Henley Hornets today as we get ready in the bottom of the first inning. Leading off it in center field, it's Peyton Price. Connor Shively, the catcher, bats second, followed by Aiden Hayes, the shortstop. Mark Carpenter is pitching and batting fourth for the Hornets today. Bo Pyle at second base, batting fifth. Hitting sixth for Henley, the third baseman, Max Price, followed by Owen Harper at first. Lane Frank bats eighth in right field, and Luke Austin, the left fielder, rounds out the Henley order. They are going up against the left-hander from Murphy, Jack Matthew, getting the start today for Hidden Valley. Taking a look at Matthew on the season. This is his 12th start of the year, his team-leading 12th start. He also leads the team in innings pitched, 56 2/3 innings pitched, a 7-2 record, and an ERA of 2.34. And so, going to have their work cut out for them today is Henley. I believe we saw Jack Matthew and these two teams played in April. And we did. In fact, we saw him in both. No, pardon me, that was his hitting stats. Excuse me. Take a look at his pitching. We saw him on April 18th. He worked 5 innings against the Hornets, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs. He did walk 6. And struck out 6. If there's anything to take away from the performances that Matthew has turned in this season, it's the 33 walks. Although in 56 innings, I think you can live with that for the amount of work that he's done this year for Hidden Valley. It's a 1-1 count to Peyton Price. The first pitch missed low. The second was a swing and a miss. Catching you up with everything we've got. Scoreless in the bottom of the first, the second leg of a doubleheader. The 1-1. That one will miss wide. 2-1. Beautiful day for baseball. Started in the first game about 69 degrees, now 75 from Rosser Field at Henley High School. Here's the 2-1. Off-speed pitch. Price got a hold of that one. Lifts one deep to center field. Clipfell on the run. Under it, makes the catch for the first out. Good catch in center field by Clipfell. Let's go ahead and meet the starting defense. For the Hidden Valley Mustangs, Ty Burden behind the dish. Brock Lewis at third. Wiley Mendez plays short. Elijah Zauer is at second with Mauricio Mendez playing first. Zucchino in left, Clipfell in center, and Graham in right. Here's the first pitch to Connor Shively. It's called a strike to the left-handed hitting catcher. Matthew, one of the only lefties we'll see all season long in the Skyline Conference, and especially for a guy like Shively, a left-handed hitter, a completely different look for him. A big curveball misses low from Matthew. That was a nice breaking pitch. See if he can start to place that thing. Could be dangerous. Here's the 1-1. Another off-speed pitch. Shively out in front, fouled it off. A 1-2 count to Shively. Shively in game 1 today, reached base safely 3 times and had an RBI single. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Shively. Off-speed pitch had Shively reaching for it. 2 away in the bottom of the first, and that brings up Aiden Hayes. Hayes back in game 1 today. Take a look at the day for him. Was hitless. He did walk twice and got stranded at third each time. Other than that, he flew out and struck out as he takes ball 1 here. Both of these teams destined for the playoffs, and Henley already Skyline Conference champions. But still plenty to play for. When you talk about Hidden Valley could potentially, if they win this game, that would count as a win against the number 2 team in the state. They've beaten a couple top 10 teams already. Be curious to see what it does to their seeding, as right now, according to the OSAA, they are the 12th best team in the state. We'll talk a little bit more about the playoffs as this game goes on, but I'm sure Hidden Valley would like to improve their stock heading into the 16-team tournament. A 4-pitch walk issued to Hayes brings up Mark Carpenter. And, you know, for me, maybe you think this way too, once we get into the playoffs, I like to see all the Skyline Conference teams do well, and I'd say that for all sports. Hidden Valley makes it. Heck, I'd like to see them again in the playoffs. They're a good squad. Same for potentially Klamath Union if they're able to make the cut too. They'd have a play-in game, have to check in on the Mazama Phoenix score. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that right now as the first pitch to Carpenter is actually a pickoff attempt. Carpenter slaps one into the gap in right center, and that one is over the head of Graham, the right fielder. Rounding third, headed for home is Hayes, and he will score from first on an RBI double from Mark Carpenter. Ed Henley strikes first. They lead 1-0. No score reported yet for Mazama and Phoenix. Again, if Phoenix wins both games over the Vikings today, that will eliminate Klamath Union from the playoffs, or the postseason, I should say. They still have to play into the actual 16-team bracket. Try to find out if we can get a final score there. And in fact, Burden going to come out and visit with his pitcher. Conference concluded on the hill, and Bo Pyle awaiting the first pitch to him. Pyle started the first game today on the mound, worked 6 2/3 before giving way to Corbin Hamilton for the final out. First pitch, a foul ball, 0-1. Today, gets the start at second. That's his sort of secondary spot. If he's not pitching, you'll see him stationed on the right side of the infield. And 0-1 count to Bo Pyle. On second is Carpenter, there after the RBI double a few minutes ago. Here's the pitch from Matthew. Nope, move over to first. Back safely is Carpenter. Carpenter did get picked off of first, I believe, in game 1. Having to be safe, but he's also been aggressive. Got a couple steals in game 1, too. They got to be careful with him out there. Decent lead off of second base. Here's the 0-1 from Matthew. No, another move over to second. Carpenter back safe. 2 away in the first, and Henley leads 1-0. Matthew again set. With the 0-1, delivers. Carpenter on the move to third. The pitch was in the dirt, knocked down by Burden, but doesn't stand a chance at making the throw. Carpenter safely at third, 90 feet away from scoring with 2 away in the first. Already 1 run home this inning for Henley. Matthews set with the 1-1 to Pyle and the pitch. Bo takes ball 2. Count now 2-1. After Bo Pyle in the order, it's Max Price. The southpaw Matthew comes set, delivers the 2-1. It was high, probably out of the zone, but fouled off. And now they count 2-2 to Bo Pyle. Burden delivers the sign to Matthew. And now the 2-2 pitch. A curveball swung on and missed. 1 run home in the inning for Henley on 1 RBI double from Mark Carpenter. They lead 1-0. We head to the second. 104 Sports, mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
Top of the second inning, and Henley leads Hidden Valley 1-0. Due up this half for the Mustangs, Brock Lewis, Ty Burden, and Connor Graham as they try to answer the call. Mark Carpenter, starter for Henley, working into his second inning. Hornets, a tight-knit group. If you can see it on the video stream, might be difficult, but there was a picture posted to Facebook today. The Hornets, they had a team meeting, a team breakfast this morning, and they popped their caps off for this photo, and every single Henley Hornet has bleached their hair. And they all agreed to take their team photo today. Every single guy on the team has got blonde hair heading into the final series against Hidden Valley. Quick 2-strike count on Brock Lewis. A couple of heaters have him getting defensive at the plate. Brock Lewis going to have to attack here with 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Carpenter. That one looked at, strike 3, rung him up. Down he goes. And that'll bring up Ty Burden. That fastball is just so hard for guys to look for. You look at Jack Matthew, which is Carpenter's counterpart today. Guy likes to work in the off-speed stuff. He was working in the curveball, working in the changeup. Carpenter gets Burden swinging on the first pitch, 0-1. But, man, Carpenter, he will come right after you at the heater. And if you're not expecting it, you have no chance of catching up to it. Here's the 0-1. Late on the fastball, 0-2. Carpenter delivers. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch in the dirt. Burden was chasing. Shively throws onto first in time. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the second inning. And that brings up Connor Graham. Graham had trouble making contact. He did put up a couple of really good at-bats, though. I'll give Connor that. But an 0-for-3 day in the first game and a couple of strikeouts. Not the line score you're looking for, but Connor Graham did put together some good at-bats, just not the results he was hoping for. The first pitch to him is called a strike, and it's 0-1. That one will miss high. A ball and a strike to Graham. Connor Graham this season batting .322. Ground ball over towards third. Picked up by Price. He'll throw to Harper in time, and that will do it. The Mustangs go down in order in the second. Henley leads 1-0. We go to the bottom half on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends. How to fit in. How to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Bottom of second inning, due up for Henley, Max Price, Owen Harper, and Lane Frank. That's 6, 7, 8 in the Henley order. As they try to build upon this lead, they find themselves up 1-0 against Hidden Valley. And we've been kind of talking about the playoff picture, what it looks like heading into the next couple of weeks of the season. Well, Hidden Valley ranked 12th in the state, Henley number 2. Both of those teams that we see today have punched their ticket to the 16-team playoff bracket. Now we're still waiting to find out who the third team out of the Skyline Conference is in the postseason. As Max Price gets ready for the first pitch from the lefty Matthew. And he shows bunt, pops one up, foul. And the count now 0-1. But both of these teams extremely experienced. Hidden Valley, 7 seniors. Henley, It's a lot of seniors as well. Both these teams hungry for state titles. For Henley, it's been some time. Hidden Valley made it in 2021 and 22. Won it in the COVID-shortened 21 season. They made it in 22 but lost to LeGrand. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Price. Curveball in the dirt. Blocked by Burden. He's going to go outside the foul line for the out. And that's a quick one down for the Hornets. Price down on strikes. Third strikeout of the day for Matthew. And this brings up Owen Harper. Harper this season for the Hornets. Not the season he would have hoped, batting .203. But in his final regular season game, or regular season Skyline Conference game, I suppose, for the Hornets, getting some at-bats. The 1-0 fouled off. A ball and a strike. Young man blowing bubbles around us, always fun at the ball field. A ball and a strike, the count to Owen Harper. That one misses low, 2-1. You know, I will say quite a good turnout for all fans here at the games today. Hidden Valley fans, much like the Hornets fans, travel well, especially when you're coming to Rossier Field. Harper pops one up shallow right, playable for the second baseman, Zauer. He does make the catch for the second out. Lane Frank batting now for the Hornets. Frank, a .353 hitter on the season. Typically a guy who collects singles. Of his 18 hits, 6 have gone for extra bases this year. The first pitch to Frank, that'll sail high. Look out. Bounces off the brick backstop. Look around the dimensions here at Rossier Field. 325 down either line. 350 to left and right center. 385 to dead center field. The 1-0 to Frank. That one will also miss high. 2-0 to the Henley right fielder. Lane also on the Henley basketball team that made the Elite Eight. The Henley football team who finished their best season in program history. 14-0 in a state championship. Here's the 2-0. It's interesting to look at programs who have sustained success like Henley across all sports. It's only happened, I believe, to my memory, if it serves me correctly, only 2 other times in Oregon State history where teams have won the football, basketball, and baseball state championships. The most recent example will be 2019 when the Banks Braves did that at the 4A level. But Henley, they don't necessarily qualify for that this year, although it was a football state championship, a girls basketball state championship, and baseball obviously is the number 2 team in the state right now searching for something. It was a walk issued to Lane Frank. In now is Luke Austin. Austin, the number 9 hitter in the order. Austin sends one on a line into center field. Clipfell backpedaling and makes the catch to end the inning. 1 base runner left for the Hornets. No base hits, no runs, but they do lead 1-0. We head to the third on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great. Participate!
First swing of the third inning is a line drive to right field from Gage Ayers. The throw to second is late, and Gage Ayers leads the Mustangs off with a double in the third inning. They do trail 1-0, but now a runner in scoring position has them in business for Mason Klipfeld to bat now. It was Ayers, Klipfeld, and Mendez due up this half for Henley. 1-0 ball game, and Carpenter finding himself in a bit of trouble here in the third inning. Showing bunt, popped it foul to Klipfeld. Mason Klipfeld this season for the Hidden Valley Mustangs. Klipfeld batting .255, 13 RBI on the season. Looking for another one here with his man Ayers in scoring position. Showing bunt again. The pitch is called a strike. 0-2 the count to Klipfeld. Covering second, Pyle now returns to defense. That pitch missed wide. Carpenter, I think that one might have just slipped out of his hand, seemed unpleased with how that pitch ended up. I will say a great job by Connor Shively behind the dish for Henley, who jumped out of that catcher's stance to keep the ball in front of him. Carpenter set with the 1-2 and delivers. Swung on and missed. Down on strikes is Klipfeld for the first out in the third. And back to the top of the Hidden Valley order, it's Wiley Mendez. One time through the order for Carpenter, 4 strikeouts. Wiley Mendez was one of those strikeouts to begin the ball game. Here's the pitch. Off speed in the dirt, kicks away from Shively. Breaking for third is Ayers. The throw is in time. They got him. Coach Spinner is upset. They're going to say they tagged him on the helmet. He is upset. He's hot, and that was a close play at third. And a lot of groans from the Hidden Valley supporters today. They felt upset all afternoon. Frankly, it's a little hard to blame them, but that pitch is called a strike. 1-1, and 2 outs in the third inning. 1-1, a curveball lifted, foul territory. Out of play. A 1-2 count. And now the distaste feeding over into the fan sections. Fans going back and forth at each other. It was a close call at third. Ruled out was Ayers on trying to break on the wild pitch. And a 1-2 count to Wiley Mendez. Carpenter ready. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. Down goes Mendez, and the Mustangs effectively down in order as we go to the bottom half of the third. Henley leads 1-0. 104.3 960 Sports, mybasin.com.
Introduce Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Bottom of the third inning, in the top of the Hornets order due up Peyton Price, Connor Shively, and Aiden Hayes. Matthew has worked well in this ball game. The only run that's come across was a walk he issued in the first, and a double ensued. First pitch misses in. 1-0 the count to Price. Price is 0 for 1 today, flew out in the 8th. Flew out to center field, F8 in the book. It flew out in the first. Here's the pitch. It's down, 2-0. Matthew delivers. That one finds the zone. Price thought that one was a ball, had to scoot out of the way for it, but it's called a strike, 2-1. Here's the pitch to Price. Off-speed pitch, ground ball towards third, winds up foul down the line. Count moves now to 2-2. Price this season, a .385 hitter for the Hornets. 9 extra base hits on the year, and he's scored 33 runs. That is third most on the team. Here's the 2-2. That one misses high. Count now 3-2. Left-hander trying to retire the first batter here in the third. A full count pitch to Peyton Price. That one is called strike 3. Second time the Hornets had thought they earned a walk and go down swinging. Price looked back, might have said something. But down looking for the second time today are the Hornets. One away, and it brings up Connor Shively. Here's the pitch. That one misses high, 1-0 to Shively. Shively struck out his first time around. So 0 for 1 in this ball game. And the pitch. That one misses in, 2-0. After Shively, it's Aiden Hayes. One away, bottom of the third, 1-0, Henley leads. Shively, ground ball over towards short. Mendez backhands it, fires across the diamond in time. And that is the second out of the inning. A good play there by the Hidden Valley shortstop. Backhanded, kicked up some dust, threw across the diamond, recorded the out. This will bring up Aiden Hayes with 2 away in the third. Hayes walked and scored in the first inning. Represents the only run on the ball game for either team so far. And the pitch. Curveball, a nice curveball there from Jack Matthews. Strike 1. That is such a hard pitch to pick up out of the hands from the lefty. See where he goes here on the 0-1 to Hayes. Another curveball. This one is hit foul, 0-2. And again, Matthew likes to go with that off-speed stuff early in at-bats. If you're expecting it, maybe hittable, but he breaks that off, and it is a beauty. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Matthews. See where he goes here. Kicks and delivers. Fastball that Hayes lifts to left field. That one could get down, and it will. Hayes rounding first. A big turn, decides to head back to first. A one-out single for Aiden Hayes, and that brings up Mark Carpenter. Second base knock of the day for Henley. And here's Carpenter, who has the other one. An RBI double in the first gave Henley their 1-0 lead. And 2 outs in the bottom of the third. He'll try to do it again. 42 RBI on the season for Carpenter. That's the league lead. And he'll step off, does Matthew. Carpenter, a 400 hitter. Move over to first. Diving back is Hayes. Going to have to be aware of that. The move for a lefty, a lot different from the view of a right-handed pitcher. Can kick that leg up and kind of act like he's delivering home and then just step over to first. This time he delivers. Carpenter pops one in foul territory. Playable for Mendez in front of the Henley dugout, but just out of reach. And it's an 0-1 count that looked playable, but I think it was just over the short fence by the Henley bullpen. And so he kind of banged up against the chain link there. He's okay, but just ran out of room. It's an 0-1 count to Carpenter. Runner at first is Hayes. Big lead. And he takes off. They throw over to first. Now he's going to dive into second. And he is safe. That is great base running there by Aiden Hayes. Takes off right as Matthew lifts the leg. At that point, he's committed to go to first. He has to go to first. And so got rid of the throw. Hayes took off, and he's safe at second. Still an 0-1 count to Carpenter, but now a runner in scoring position. Still 2 away. And Matthew's set. And a move over to second. Matthews stepped off, no throw. Trying to keep Hayes put there at second base. On deck after Carpenter is Bo Pyle. And the pitch. Hayes breaks from second. A curveball. Carpenter whacks that one into left field. Going back is the left fielder, Zucchino. Goodbye! A 2-run shot for Mark Carpenter. And that gives him his 8th home run of the season. And Henley a 3-0 lead. Matthew left a hanging curveball for Carpenter to slam over the left field fence. 3-0 Henley, and that brings up Bo Pyle. Bo Pyle 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. That was back in the first inning. Pyle sends one on the ground out to short. Mendez fields it on to first in time, and that will end the inning. But the Hornets score 2 on a 2-run blast from Mark Carpenter. They lead 3-0 as we head to the 4th on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
All I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever. Wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Getting ready for the top of the 3rd inning between the Hornets and the Mustangs. So far in the ballgame, no runs, 2 hits, no errors for Hidden Valley. They've left 2 runners on base for Henley, 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors for the Hornets, and they've also left 2 runners. Mark Carpenter, the starter for the Hornets, still in the ballgame, and due up for Hidden Valley is Elijah Zauer, Jack Matthew, and Mauricio Mendez. Off-speed pitch called a strike to start the 4th inning, 0-1. Henley jumped out to a 3-0 lead. They added 2 more in the last half inning. The Mustangs going to try to respond. The first game was a 4-2 final that Henley ended up winning. But Hidden Valley, they had a little bit of momentum on offense in the middle part, or in the early part of that game. They sort of found it a bit more towards the tail end when they added another run in the 6th. The 2-1 is rolled out towards first. Harper up with it. He's going to take it to the bag himself for the first out. 3 unassisted. That brings up Jack Matthew. Matthew 1 for 1 today. He singled in the first and was left stranded out there. Looking to start a rally for the Mustangs. The pitch. That one is low, kicks away from Shively, but no one on base, so no harm for the Hornets. Matthew this season, second best hitter on the Mustangs, .414 average as he takes strike one, evens the count 1-1. Leading hitter for Hidden Valley is Caden Coonard, who bats .419. Here's the 1-1. Off-speed pitch misses outside, 2-1 to Matthew. Final Skyline Conference game of the year. Looking at Hidden Valley, they will have one more game this season, a non-conference game on the road against South Medford at Harry and David Field. That game will be on May 16th. Henley also has a game on the 16th to close out the regular season when they play Junction City, and that's a neutral site game. Looks like strike three called against Jack Matthew. 2 quick outs here in the fourth, and that brings up Mauricio Mendez. Mendez grounded into a double play in his first at-bat. Now bats with 2 outs, and the base is empty. First pitch misses low, 1-0. After Mendez, it's Brock Lewis. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Curveball found the zone. A nice breaking pitch there from Carpenter. 1-1. See how he gets a lot of his swings and misses. That pitch combined with the hard fastball. Here he comes with the 1-1. That was a curveball again. Missed. No, it didn't. Late strike call. 1-2. Shively sets up outside for the 1-2. Elevated fastball. Mendez tried to check his swing, but far too late. And that will end the inning. The Mustangs go down in order for the second straight inning. They trail 3-0. So we go to the bottom half of the fourth. 104.3, 960 Sports, mybase.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between. We keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Bottom of the fourth inning, and Henley leads Hidden Valley 3-0. Strike one called against Max Price. Down in the count 0-1. Looking at Price on the game, 0 for 1, a strikeout in the second inning. 0-1, a curveball, grounded foul down the third baseline. Out a bit in front of that one was Price. Now an 0-2 count to the Henley freshman. The lefty, Matthew, the starter for Hidden Valley, still working here in the fourth. The 0-2 pitch, taken outside, 1-2. A decent miss there and a 2-strike count. The curveball does kind of feel like it might break back into the zone, and Henley has frozen up a couple of times on that pitch. Here's the 1-2. That one missed high. Count now 2-2 to Price. Max this season is hitting .309 on the year. 15 of his 21 hits have been singles. The 2-2. That one misses. Might have been a bit high, and the count runs full. Burden looked towards the dugout, gathers the sign from the dugout, and delivers it to Matthew. The 2-2 ripped into center field. That's going to find a gap and skip to the wall. Price heading for second. He might stretch it to 3. A big turnaround second. He'll stay there. A leadoff double for the Hornets in the fourth. They're in business. Owen Harper bats now for the Hornets. 0 for 1 today. Harper flew out to second in his first at-bat. Harper this season batting .203. Hasn't had very many RBI opportunities this year, but he's got 8 of them in there. Harper then Frank in the Henley order. And the pitch. Harper shows bunt, tries to lay it down, but does so foul. Probably just trying to move Price over to third for the bottom of the order to knock him in. So in doing so, Mendez, the first baseman, playing in on the grass. The second baseman, Zauer, cheating a little bit towards first base, so that way he can cover in the event of a bunt. Third baseman, Lewis, also in on the grass. Set is Matthew. Takes a long time and finally delivers the 0-1. Harper pops up the bunt. It is caught by Zauer. The one result the Hornets were not after was a pop out, and that keeps Price there at second. One away for Lane Frank. See if the bunt is still on for Lane. Frank bunted a runner over to third in game 1 of a doubleheader today. And it looks like he's probably going to square this one up too. Here's the, nope, not a pitch. Move over to second. Price back after no throw. And maybe no bunt for Frank. Frank is going to swing away, but he takes the first pitch high, 1-0. Lane walked and was left stranded in the second inning. Looking back to his game 1 performance today, Frank was 1 for 3. Ahead in the count here, 1-0. Lane this season batting .353. Left-hander Matthews set. Here's the pitch. Curveball, found the zone. Nice pitch from Matthew. He's broken off that curveball a few times now. Count even now at 1 to Lane Frank. Henley leads 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. The final game of the Skyline Conference schedule for each of these teams. 1-1. The pitch to Frank, taken for strike 2. Curveball graced the outer third. A good placement again by Jack Matthew. 1-2 the count to Frank. Burden, the catcher, delivers the sign. It looks like Matthew shook him off once, and now the pitch. Setting up inside is Burden. And another move over to second, but back safely is Max Price. No throw. Just trying to look him back to second base. Henley has been active on the base paths all day today, stealing, hitting runs, all the works. One away in the 4th and a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Curveball that's popped up. Burden underneath it makes the catch near us on the run. And that's the second out in the inning. Tough play for a catcher to make, but Burden did a nice job to stick with it and record the out. And this brings up Luke Austin. Austin flew out to center field in his first at-bat. That was back in the 2nd inning. But now just 1 out away from escaping this inning for Matthew. Started out with a leadoff double, then a couple of flyouts have kept Price at second base. The ball hasn't left the infield since. Here's the pitch from Matthew. That one down, misses to Austin. Throw down to second to try to get Price, but he's back safely. Good throw from Burden as Price probably thought about breaking for third there when he saw the dirt kick up. Wisely headed back to second base. And it's a 1-0 count to Austin. Second leading hitter on the team. Austin batting .472 this season. Here's the 1-0. Curveball. Missed high. 2-0. And we always talk about controlling the tempo for pitchers out there. Matthew, he comes set. He likes to hold it there for a minute. Maybe try to get the hitters to start to think a little bit what might be coming. And so far, the Hornets haven't called time at the plate when Matthew comes set. Still set. And now moves over to first. Again, compare that to the Henley pitchers on the other side. Mark Carpenter likes to work quickly. Bo Pyle, who started the first game today, likes to work lightning fast. It's a 2-0 count to Austin. Set now is Matthew. Quick delivery, and the pitch misses in. 3-0. Peyton Price waits on deck for the Hornets. He's 0 for 2 today. Top of the order, though, for Henley up next with 2 outs in the 4th. Decent lead off a second for Max Price. Matthews set. Delivers the 3-0. That pitch misses, and a walk delivered to Luke Austin brings up Peyton Price. So now 2 runners on for the top of the Henley order. Price is 0 for 2. I mentioned a fly out in the first, and he struck out in the third. So far this season for Peyton, .385 hitter and 18 RBI on the season. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, misses 1-0. Henley trying to build upon their lead. They're up 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Big lead off of first by Austin. No one there holding him because of the runner at second. It's Price, and they've got Zauer trying to keep him honest. The 1-0. That one will find the zone. Price, a little bit upset about that call. He got rung up on a similar pitch earlier in the game. It's a 1-1 count to the Henley center fielder. Matthew looking in. Comes together. Checks the runner, now delivers home. Price hits one in the air, right field. Graham, he'll make the catch in right field to end the inning. 2 runners left on for the Hornets. No runs come across. They lead 3-0 as we head to the top of the 5th. 104.3 960 Sports, mybasin.com.
Clownful and not corporate. At Clownful Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clownful Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clownfall Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
Top of the 5th inning from Rosser Field, Henley High School, the side of this showdown between the Mustangs and the Hornets. So far, Henley leads 3-0. Due up this half 4, Hidden Valley, Brock Lewis, Ty Burden, Connor Graham. That's 5, 6, 7 in the Mustang order as they try to trim this lead and get back into the ball game. Lewis stepping in now. He is 0 for 1 today. Struck out in the 2nd inning. And the pitch is going to miss away, 1-0. Lewis in the first game this afternoon was 1 for 3. Singled in an RBI in the first and was kept quiet for most of the rest of the game. He takes a strike there, 1-1. Carpenter delivers the 1-1. Inside changeup and swung right through it. 1-2 the count to Lewis. On the season, Brock Lewis a .358 hitter. He does lead his team in strikeouts this year. 2-2. Including the one earlier today. As a matter of fact, Lewis is actually tied for the team lead in strikeouts at 15. Here's the 2-2. That one is flared out towards right field. Could get down, but it'll slice foul. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Hidden Valley third baseman. The 2-2 to Brock. Lewis is swung through and strike 3. Brings up Ty Burden. 3 strikeouts in a row dating back to last inning for Carpenter. Eight total on the ball game for Mark. And here's the first pitch to Ty Burden. First pitch to Burden is low. 1-0. Burden was a strikeout casualty back in the second inning. For Mark Carpenter this season, so he gets a swing and a miss there on the 2-0 pitch. Now 2-1 to Burden. He is a strikeout machine. In over 40 innings of work, he has struck out 71 batters. 2 times this year has he got 13 strikeouts. That's his season high. Flared out to right field, and a 1-out single for Ty Burden. 5th hit of the day for the Mustangs, and this will bring up Connor Graham. Graham grounded out in his first at-bat, and we're also going to see a runner come in for Burden. That's going to be number 8, Cruz Levitt, the junior. And again for Carpenter, 13 strikeouts in his last start against Hidden Valley. That was back on April 18th. Looked good. Otherwise, he did it in the season opener against Phoenix. Pitch in the dirt. Graham offered up at it and came up empty, 0-1. Carpenter also had 11 strikeouts in an outing against Klamath Union earlier in the year. The count to Graham. Carpenter set and delivers. Fastball taken on the outer third for strike 2. Graham was, I believe, also hitless in the first game today. This time pops one foul. Count remains 0-2. Yeah, a couple of strikeouts and a ground out for Graham in game 1 today. But he put up some good at-bats, and in the process of doing it again here, make Carpenter work for this out. Decent lead off of first by Burden. Here's the 0-2. Chopping ball up the middle. Pyle to the second base himself. Sails one high to Harper, but the tall Harper, standing 6'4", leapt and made the catch. A 4-3 double play ends the 5th inning for the Mustangs. They trail Henley 3-0 to the bottom half of the 5th we go. 104.3 960 Sports, mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person, I love to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Bottom of the fifth inning, 2-3-4 in the Henley order due up as they try to build upon their 3-0 lead. Connor Shively, Aiden Hayes, Mark Carpenter to bat this half inning. Jack Matthews still on the bump for Hidden Valley. The left-hander has looked good except for, well, 2 mistakes to Mark Carpenter. Otherwise, he's looked very good. Once was an RBI double for Mark. The other was a 2-run home run. He'll have to get through Carpenter again this half inning, but first it's Connor Shively, who's 0 for 2 today. Shively takes the first pitch he sees for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 to Shively. Shively lifts one behind third base, and that one will drop between the left fielder, the shortstop, and the third baseman. Count even now, add 1 apiece to Shively. Shively struck out in the first, grounded out in the third. Looking at Connor this season, Connor Shively, he is carrying a 4-game hit streak coming into this game. In fact, there's only been 4 games of a 25-game slate for Henley all year in which he hasn't recorded a hit. 2-1, ripped down the first base line, gloved by Mendez to the first base bag himself for the first out. This will bring up Aiden Hayes. Hayes walked, came around to score in the first. He also singled in the third and came around to score then also on the 2-run Carpenter blast. Hayes leads the team in runs scored, leads the league in runs scored at 40 on the season. Takes a ball there, 1-0. Helps when you got a guy like Mark Carpenter hitting behind you. You tend to score a lot of runs. 1-0 the count to Hayes and the pitch. Hayes lifts one, shallow right. Graham, the right fielder, underneath it to make the catch. 2 quick outs in the fifth for Henley. And this will bring up Mark Carpenter. Mentioned him. League leader in RBI, 44 on the season. And 8 home runs. Batting .400 on the season is Mark Carpenter. Been a thorn in the side of visiting teams all season long. The pitch to Carpenter misses high, 1-0. Most of Mark's home runs have been here at home this year, but his first one, I believe, was up in Eugene, if I recall. First home run of league play was here at home. The 1-1, or the 1-0 fouled off, making it 1-1. On deck after Mark Carpenter is Bo Pyle. Carpenter hits one deep, center field, back is clipped, fell near the wall, but makes the catch. And the Hornets go down in order in the fifth. We go to the sixth with Henley leading 3-0 on 104.3 and 9. Also, mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
Getting ready for the sixth inning, and it's the bottom of the Hidden Valley order due up. Gage Ayers, Mason Klipfel, and then back to the top for Wiley Mendez, 8, 9, and 1. Ayers ripped a double to center field in his first at-bat and then was out trying to go to third on a pass ball. See if he can get something started for the Mustangs here in the sixth with his team down by 3. Carpenter still working out there for the Hornets. He's pitched well. Again, 8 strikeouts through the first 5 innings today. Here's the pitch. That one will miss. 1-0. Offered up at and missed. 1-1. Had him reaching there for the curveball out of the zone. Carpenter evens the count against Ayers. Keeping his pitch count down, too. Here's the 1-1. Lifts one, left field. Austin, he'll make the catch for the first out. Brings up Mason Klipfel. Klipfel today 0 for 1. He struck out in the third inning. First pitch to Klipfel. Takes a strike, 0-1. Klipfel this season batting .255. Again, he is tied for the team lead with 15 strikeouts on the year. It's a 1-1 count to Klipfel. Here's the pitch. That one, a high fastball offered up at and missed by the Hidden Valley center fielder. A 1-2 count. Shively calling for the high fastball. 1-2. Look out right towards the Henley dugout. Oh my gosh, Coach Tacchini, it was hit right to his feet. He jumped and he did not turn around. He did not care after the ball was not in his line of path anymore. Tells you how long he's been around the game. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Carpenter, hit weakly out in front of the plate, but then it spins foul. 1-2 count remains. Doesn't look like Coach has learned his lesson either. Still has his back to the playing field. Someone get him a helmet. 1-2 the count to Klipfel. Here's the pitch. That one in the dirt, taking all the way. It bounced to the plate. 2-2. On deck again after Klipfel is Wiley Mendez. Carpenter delivers the pitch. Taken, strike 3 called, rung him up. Second strikeout of the day for Klipfel, and the second out here in this inning. Wiley Mendez to bat now, 0 for 2, couple of punch-outs today. Hidden Valley hitters starting to get frustrated at the plate. That's the 9th strikeout for Carpenter. 1-0. After that pitch missed high. Well, that foul ball bounced off the backstop. Coach Takini, aware of that one, came out to field it. He's staying in the game. Coach Takini and Sean Teeters, co-head coaches of this Henley team that's ranked number 2 in the state. Their second year of the administration here at Henley. 1-0 fouled off, 1-1. Took over for Adam Randall a couple years ago. Randall has done some very cool things in the Klamath County School District as an educator, helping students with special needs for their education continue to grow and learn. Took time away from baseball to focus on that, and I think that's commendable. The 1-1 ripped into left center field. That could get down and then some. One hop off the wall. Rounding first, headed for second is Mendez. And a 2-out extra base hit brings up Elijah Zauer. Zauer steps in with the runner at second base in 2 outs. He's walked and grounded out in 2 plate appearances so far. On deck after Zauer is Jack Matthew. The pitch, that one is hacked at and fouled off. 0-1, an elevated fastball to foul it off. Zauer looked like he was kind of coming overhead like an axe swing, but now 0-1 in the count. The 0-1 taken outside. By the way, looks like we've got a final score for Henley softball. Looks like they run-ruled Hidden Valley 14-3 to pick up their second win of the afternoon. Here it's 3-0, and Henley leads. Top of the 6th inning, the Mustangs have a runner in scoring position. This is a ground ball towards short. Aiden Hayes going to make the routine throw to first in time, and that will do it. The Mustangs do get a runner into scoring position, but are still looking for their first run of this ball game. We head to the bottom of the 6th with Henley up 3-0. 104.3, 960 Sports, mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Bottom of the 6th inning, due up this half for Henley is Bo Pyle, Max Price, and Owen Harper. That's 5, 6, 7. The order as they try to build upon this 3-0 lead. 0 for 2 day for Bo Pyle. Jack Matthews still on the mound for Hidden Valley. Pyle, ground ball towards first. Mendez on to Matthew covering for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 6th inning. Brings up Max Price. Price is 1 for 2 in this ball game, struck out in the 2nd, and he doubled in the 4th. Pitch taken, 1-0. Two and 0 the count now to Max Price. And the pitch from Matthew, that one is also taken low, 3-0. Don't know if Hidden Valley has had anybody up and throwing in the bullpen. I don't think that they have really thought about it too much because Matthew has been throwing the ball so dang well for most of this ball game. The 3-0. That's called a strike. Pretty much right down the middle, maybe a little bit low in the zone, but as far as over the plate goes, that's right down the middle. Here's the 3-1 to Max Price. That one missed, bounced to the plate. Price hustling down the line, might take a turn. No, he is going to stay put at first. A one-out base runner for the Hornets brings up Owen Harper. Harper 0 for 2 today. He's popped out to second base both times. After Harper in the order, it's Lane Frank. Here's Matthew. Taking off from first is Price. The throw down is going to be late. In safely is Price. And the pitch looked good. I didn't quite see if it was called a strike or called a ball. But regardless, a runner in scoring position as Price moves up. I believe it was called a strike to Harper. 0-1 the count. And the pitch. Curveball taken by Harper, 0-2. That curveball again, Matthew breaks it off so nicely. Starts out of the zone and then just creeps right back into it. Harper behind in the count, 0-2. Matthews shakes off his catcher. Bird in the first one, now decides on a pitch. And a move over to second. Hayes is caught in a rundown. Throw to second. Now he's breaking for third. Now turning around, headed for second. And he is going to dive in, and he is out. Caught out there, and a good job by Hidden Valley to stick with it that time. They got Price. And now Harper bats in an 0-2 count with the bases empty. Matthew now gets to work from the windup again as well. Here's the pitch. Curveball misses outside, 1-2. After Harper, if he gets on base, again it's Lane Frank. Matthew delivers from the windup, and that is taken. Strike 3 called. And that will end things in the 6th. The Hornets try to close things out in the next half inning. We go to the 7th with themselves up 3-0. 104.3 960 Sports, mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great. Participate!
Top of the 7th inning. And Hornets trying to close things out against the Mustangs. It's a 1-0 count to Jack Matthew. The 1-0 pitch from Mark Carpenter. He's fouled off 1-1. Mark trying to go the distance. Close out a shutout victory, but he's got 3 outs to get. Jack Matthew, Mauricio Mendez, Brock Lewis. 3 guys he's got to get through to close out an undefeated Skyline Conference season for the Henley Hornets. Ground ball towards third. Price up with it. Throws to Harper in time. Out number 1. Mauricio Mendez bats now, 0 for 2, grounded into a double play in the first inning and struck out in the fourth. Hornets are trying to close out an undefeated Skyline Conference schedule. They did it last year, although last year a little bit different. The first pitch misses high. We have kind of talked about it this season, but last year in the Skyline Conference, you play each league opponent 3 times. This year it was 4. And so an undefeated conference schedule was a 12-0 season last year for Henley. This year they're going for 16-0. Right now, for Henley, they're 24 wins overall, the most in the state of Oregon at any classification. It is a 2-1 count to Mauricio Mendez. The pitch from Carpenter. That is ripped towards short. Hayes going to play it on a hop. Gets it to Harper in time. 2 quick outs in the 7th. And that brings up Brock Lewis. Lewis 0 for 2 today. Couple of strikeouts. Carpenter 1 out away from a complete game shutout. Lewis stands in his way. The first pitch. Ground ball out towards first. Harper up with it. On to Carpenter covering the bag, and the Henley Hornets are your undefeated Skyline Conference champions after wrapping up a 3-0 victory against Hidden Valley today. We'll be back to recap what we've got for you. That's coming up as we continue your coverage this season of Henley baseball. 104.3 960 Sports, mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union, find your path.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Final score from Henley High School today. The Hornets have defeated the Hidden Valley Mustangs 3-0. Today for Henley, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Hornets, they left 4 runners on base. Hidden Valley, no runs, 4 hits, no errors. The Mustangs left 3 runners on base. Winning pitcher today going the distance and pitching a shutout. Mark Carpenter, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 walk. He struck out 9. Losing pitcher Jack Matthew also went the distance today. Pitched all 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned. He walked 4 and struck out 5. Couple of offensive notables today for Henley. How about a 2-base hit day for Mark Carpenter with 3 RBIs, and the 2-run home run gave him a run as well. That makes him 4 for 6 on the entire day, as Henley also won the first game this afternoon 4-2. They are your Skyline Conference champions, and they are headed to the 16-team OSAA state playoff bracket. So are the Mustangs. They've just got to find out where they're seated exactly ahead of the first round, which is May 21st. Quarterfinals set up for May 24th. Semifinals on May 28th, and it all culminates in Salem at Kaiser Stadium on June 1st for all of the OSAA state championships. We'll be with you as long as the Hornets are, all postseason long on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Although our next broadcast on this station, boy, it's going to be a busy week next week. Monday, 2 games up at Oregon Tech as the Lady Owls are hosting the NAIA Softball World Series opening round up at Stillwell Stadium. We'll be with you for each game of that tournament. That is on Monday. In the meantime, hoping you have a great rest of your weekend. Once again, the final score today, Henley 3, Hidden Valley 0. This is Josh Eldridge saying so long from Rosser Field at Henley High School.